Hey everybody, it's Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. It is 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, Sunday evening, time for a little Sunday night live chat. It's like we got a great group and nobody's already on YouTube with us. Let's see, looks like Facebook is connecting as well. As always, we are live on two formats, both Facebook and YouTube. As you see me glancing back and forth at the different screens, that's what I'm trying to keep up with. So we do have viewers on both formats, so please bear that in mind. Lots of nobodies here with us out of the gate. Anthony was on early. X-Ray Dean's here. Pete's on with us. Ryan and Amy are here. Pierre Pontiac is back. Randy's on with us. Frank, Lee from New York, Kevin L. A whole bunch of familiar nobodies on with us right out of the gate tonight. Always appreciate that. Scott's on with us on Facebook. Appreciate you guys coming back, making this what it is. Like we talk about every week, this is a chat. This isn't Chad sitting here talking into a webcam. This is a chat with all of us. And all of us is what makes this great. All of our knowledge and experience in the car world is what contributes to this. Gail's on with us on Facebook as well. Big Job is here. Mike from Texas is on. Jason and Jennifer are here. Mark Falcon is on. Dad's on with us. So, exciting to see everybody here and ready to go tonight. Anyway, what else has been going on? What's happening in my world? Alan from Arizona is here. Jim's on. Doug's here with us. Gary's here. Gary's ready to go. Gary don't want to mess around tonight. Well, we're almost 2 minutes in. I guess it's time to get the badges up and going. Actually, a minute and a half. I think that's a record. A minute and a half, and Gary was ready for a badge. We'll just give you both of them to get things started off. But I think you got the record, Gary, a minute and a half when you're already wanting the badges ready to start rolling. So I think you got the record for that one. Ben is on from upstate New York with us, joining us on Facebook. But anyway, I know some of you guys from Canada, there already been a few comments about how cold it is in Canada, and you can keep it. It was miserable enough around here this week. It was cold. The worst part about being cold, it wasn't miserably cold. I mean, it got up into the 30s during the day, but we had 30 or 40 mile an hour winds to go with it. So about a good chunk of my week was actually spent just in the shop. It was too miserable to be outside doing anything, fighting the wind. So that wasn't any fun at all. So spent a lot of time in the shop. I did start getting a few things picked up and organized, which I got a lot of that to do, but it just sucks when it's just that miserable that you just can't do anything with it. Throwing Sparks is here. But so I didn't get a lot of stuff picked up. I did go up to my friend's place where I bought all those parts last spring, got another load out of there. Yes, I am still not done there. Don't even know. In fact, I bought more while I was there. So, more of that coming, but still got a lot of sheet metal to get and more stuff that I bought Monday when I was up there. So I brought one pickup load home from there Monday, but that was really all I got picked up this week. So, Bill Wagaman's on with us. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody. Kenny's on. Lance is here on Facebook. Ben on Facebook. Any A100s? I've got one van. I think it's a 66 van. No A100 pickups at all, Ben. So I spent an awful lot of time in the shop. I got a lot of stuff shipped this week. Pretty much everything is shipped. I got Mark's check right at the end of the week. That didn't go, but pretty much caught up on everything on shipping at this point as well. So, like I said, I had plenty of time in the shop to do it. But anyway, what else has been going on this week? 65 Pontiac A bodies. I've got 3 of them. 1 2-door, 2 4, and 2 4-doors on 65 Pontiac A bodies. Brian Dispatch is here with us. Tim's on. But what else was I working on this week? The National Road Museum project. We've been talking about that for about a month and a half on here now. Yep, you are definitely in the raffle, Mark. You are definitely in the raffle. Working on the National Road Museum project. If you haven't been with us here the last month and a half, museum in Maryland working on a display for the first nationally funded highway project that was started in the early 1800s, and been working with the designer on the automotive part of that. Obviously, we're dealing with the last portion of it since it was approved in 1811. Obviously, it only a portion of its life dealt with automobiles starting around the turn of the century, and it kind of became outdated in the late 50s as the interstate highway system was being built. So working with that window, there are a couple things that we still need. If there's any of you that can help us with this project, they are looking for a gas pump, 40s, 50s era gas pump somewhere back east in the Maryland area, preferably, but somewhere in the general vicinity of Maryland. If anybody knows of a gas pump in that area that they could purchase for the display, they would be interested in that as well. And a Model T tire and wheel assembly for part of the display, an intact Model T tire and wheel assembly. Still looking for that. All the rest of the artifacts, I guess, that we worked into the display was stuff I had here to fill the holes as we laid the display out. So plenty of artifacts coming out of the yard for this display, but those few things, and I've got plenty of gas pumps as well. Just the shipping on the gas pump would be extremely prohibitive if we can find something back east for them. So Alec is on Facebook. Let's see. Okay, Bill, that was a typo. Okay, Bill, I was kind of trying to figure that one out. So anybody that's back east, if you know somebody back east that might be able to help out with the gas pump part of that project, be sure to let me know. They would probably be interested in purchasing one. So, and I'm still trying to source the Model T tire and wheel assembly. Don from Nashville is on with us. I hope you guys all caught the Pioneer Village video the other night that I posted on YouTube. It was an exciting video for me to do, really. We've got a lot more coming from there, including some of the overstock excess inventory that they're going to be selling off probably next spring. Anthony Saudi liked it. What was exciting for me about it, if you didn't see it, is the fact that there are finally signs of life. Things are improving. They're starting to fix some things. There had several roofs that have been replaced. They fixed the sidewalks that were buckling and falling apart. Very exciting to see a place like that starting to get fixed up. They've got some big things coming next year that will hopefully get them some more publicity, some more press to get that, to get that museum back up to snuff and have a good plan for the future. Throwing Sparks, the museum is located between Hagerstown and Frederick, about 1.5 hours from me. So awesome. If you've got any leads on a gas pump up in that area, let me know so that we can try to secure one for the display. Tony's here. He's got 3 to 4 feet of snow. I don't have any snow, so you can keep all of that. Pete saw the video. They have not released the auction date on that yet, Randy. So we don't know. Once I find out, I will keep you posted. But we've got the videos coming from there. Doug's with us on Facebook. Glad you made it. But like I said, it was exciting for me to be able to do that video on fixing the place up, to see those signs alive, to know that there is a future, to know that the museum is going to be there for generations to come. That was exciting. Like I've told you guys, my parents took me there as a kid. I've taken Addie there multiple times. It's such a cool place. And to see it in its state of disrepair as the way it's been the last few times we've been there has been disheartening. So I was really excited to do that video to show signs of life, that things are getting better. Bill, have the museum contact AACA and Hershey. Okay, that's another good idea as well, Bill. I'm not that familiar with that area at all, so that is a good idea. The only time I've even been back east was back in my Chrysler days, and that was all New York City stuff. A little bit of upstate New York, and then I did a store in Queens and things like that. But basically, I think I flew into Newark and then just went from there every time I was in the New York area. And that's the only part of that area I've ever been experienced with. So, Doug, you have any 454s? I've got, I think, one. It just depends on what you want as far as a 454. I assume we're talking 454 big block Chevy. But I've got, I think, one on a truck is all I've got right now. Just depends on what you're looking for on that. Jeff from Canada's here. No, we not want any snow. Mike, supposed to be -1 Friday morning. That's kind of what we're looking at around here Thursday and Friday is just under 0, which I don't want. So not looking forward to any of that at all. That is extremely prohibitive to getting work done outside. But Jason says, don't forget to like and share. Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys thinking about that. So, Dutch and Badge. So anyway, Yeah, winter stupid. That's a good way to put it, Jason. Winter stupid. I agree with that. AAC Museum in Hershey is awesome. Yeah, I've never been back to Hershey. I'm not familiar with that area also. I did note that down that that might be a possible contact on that stuff. So Central Missouri's got that about the same thing that we've got here in Central Missouri. So like I said, the first part of this week's supposed to be okay, but Thursday, Friday is supposed to be absolutely miserable. So I'm hoping that the forecast changes. This is what I'm hoping for. I got something else cool I wanted to share with you guys this week. I got a new tool. I've always wanted one. I've wanted one of these for a long time. A guy that I know in Hutchinson, Kansas, actually makes these, and I just never bought one. I always thought they were super cool. I thought Jerry did a heck of a job with this tool, and I just never bought one. He called me a couple weeks ago, and he needed some parts for an old Dodge truck, just a couple little things. He said, "What do you want from him?" I said, "You still got any of those wrenches?" And he said, "Yeah, I think I still got a few of them." He sold his shop, but he still had a few of them laying around. So I wanted to show this thing to you because it's super cool. I don't know. I think it's maybe stainless steel is what it is. Old School's here with us. Let's see. Yeah. Seems like everybody pretty much has the same opinion of winter on here. But this tool, machine design service was Jerry's shop. What do you call it? It's called the light wrench. I think it's stainless steel is what it is, but it is super cool. Ozark Fox, been to New York City 5 times. There will not be a 6th. I can see that. But this cool, it's a crescent wrench basically, but I think it's stainless steel. It's very, very precisely machined. Sam's here with us. So I'm going to show it to you. Plus, it's got a little trick to it. Check this thing out. It's not a real giant crescent wrench. It's actually made for race cars, believe it or not. You know, real, very nice, very precisely machined, very tight. You know, a cheap crescent wrench can get real sloppy and real loose. This thing is extremely tight. That's right, Alec. One thing going for is a weatherman is not right all the time. Old School's never been to New York City and doesn't plan on going. So this thing is, like I said, it's kind of smaller. It is designed for race cars. It's 8 inches long. So, you know, this is a great, basic pit wrench, starting line wrench. One cool thing about it that Jerry incorporated into this, obviously, this is all machined out. It gets rid of that weight, but it's still extremely strong, extremely durable. But he put that right in the bottom of it. Super convenient. Anybody know what that's for? There's got to be some race car guys on there that know what that's for. Right on the bottom of your, great for fuel lines, any of that type of stuff that you need to get to quick. Super neat piece. Not a tow hook. Guy with the car guys on. How many cats do we got tonight? Throwing Sparks knows it. Zeus fitting. That's what that's for. It's actually DZUS, I think. Zeus fittings. Where they put Zeus. Yeah, Randy got it. Yep. It's like, yeah, you guys are. I knew we were going Throwing Sparks. I just took a minute. Number one's here. So you've got this very nicely machined heavy duty crescent wrench with the deal in there for your Zeus fasteners. If you've got to remove a panel or loosen a panel, just pop it off. Super cool piece. Like I said, we all like new tools, so I thought I would share this one and see what you guys thought of it. Because like I said, I always wanted one. I just never bought one. So when Jerry called and said, "Hey, I need these little pieces for my Dodge truck," he's like, "You still got any of them wrenches?" I always wanted one of those. Sure. He had a guy come up that was coming to Great Bend to pick up the parts, so he sent one up for me. Super excited to get it, and it is a neat piece. So anyway, a few more things to cover real quick, and then we're going to move on with the promo, the badges, the emblems, the auctions. Hopefully the auctions, work tonight. How much does it weigh? It's pretty light. I don't know what it weighs. I didn't actually weigh it. It's light. No, I haven't seen any of Tim's videos lately. I don't know what he's got posted up, so I haven't seen any of it. Alex likes it. Yeah, like I said, this is pretty tight. It's got a tiny bit of play to it because it is a crescent, but it's pretty tight. So, looking for a 454 big block for a project. I mean, like I said, it just depends on what you want. I think I've got one on a truck because there's hundreds and hundreds of different 454s. So, but anyway, Auburn badge. -28 up in Canada for number one is at, and you can keep that. It's supposed to be cold here, but not that bad. But anyway, real quick, since we're kind of up and rolling, little bit of housekeeping real quick. Autocorrect, please double check your comments before you hit send. If I can't make it out because autocorrect changed words for you, I have to skip it and go to the next one. Trolls, you guys do a great job making sure trolls know they are not welcome. I'm going to ignore them. They're trying to get my attention. You guys do a great job of reporting them and running them off. So I will ignore them. If you see somebody doing a bunch of stupid stuff, I'm going to ignore them, keep rolling right past them. You guys do a great job of taking care of them for me. If you're on the Nobody Show page on Facebook, I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook. You'll need to be on that page or the Nobody Show YouTube channels if you want to comment, participate in the auctions or anything like that. So just a little bit of housekeeping there, as we always have to do. We'll throw up another Hudson badge. But anyway, yeah, I don't like anything cold, so I'll call this cold because I just don't like cold. David W. is here with us. A couple other things that are working right now. Old Cars Weekly. As you know, I've been doing a lot of work with them. Cold beer, that's okay, but cold outside, not so okay. I just finished up the Mecum, Kansas City article, so I'll be emailing that in probably tomorrow. I want to scan it one more time and then fire that off. Another article going to print tomorrow. What did Angelo call it? 14 questions with Chad, I think. So Angelo and I sat down and had a little chat, and he asked me a bunch of things about my opinion. Angelo and I have been working on that. Actually, we worked on it yesterday, and I worked on it again today some more, and emailed a few more changes in on that. So that is actually going to print tomorrow in the next issue of Old Cars Weekly, which will probably come out week after next, I believe. 14 questions with Chad. So that will be coming out in Old Cars Weekly, probably week after next. Let's see. Ozark Fox can't stand the hot. I don't mind the hot. I can deal with the hot because I can usually find a hose to run over my head and cool back down. When I'm cold, I'm just cold. If your toes get cold and your fingers get cold, you're just cold, and you ain't nothing you can do about it till you go warm up. So, Alec received his auction items from last week. The Texaco can is cool, and the matchbooks are nice. Glad you liked it, Alec. Glad it made it safely. Pete, I love Old Cars Weekly, but can't keep up with it. Yeah, they come every other week. You got to stay up on top of them, or you're going to start missing good, cool articles. So, I'm sitting there playing with my wrench. Something else that was really weird for me related to Old Cars Weekly is I actually got a writing contract from them this week for 2023. So that was kind of weird that I've actually got a contract that, just in all it is that details, once I submit something to them that they have permission to run it, things like that, copyright type stuff. Not a big deal. It's just, weird for me to actually have a contract stating that, my submissions are going to be used for this and that, and they have so much time to run them and this and that. And so for me, that was pretty weird. There again, I've just thought I sold parts. That's all I've ever done. But for me, now this museum display, the writing part of it, I mean, they're just, on top of the fact that we're sitting here right now on YouTube having a chat on Sunday night, it's, to me, it's a little crazy with the way it's turning out. But it's weird that I've actually got a piece of paper here that is literally a writing contract from their company that's just spells out the terms of once you submit something to them, they have so many days to run it before anybody else can have it, and copyright and all that other stuff. So kind of neat to me to be able to actually have that opportunity. And obviously what I have submitted, because they've probably ran 8 or 10 of my articles over the last couple of years. I never thought any of it was good enough to constitute anything like that. But they said it was, and they wanted to do it, and they like my stuff. So I guess I'm working with them on it. And big thanks to my friend Phil Skinner. Phil hangs out with us on here from time to time. Phil helped set that connection up for me. Phil is a regular writer for multiple publications. And, so he's taught me a lot of things. He helped with the connection. So, you can't ever forget about some of those people that help make those connections for you to give you the opportunity, but to learn more stuff. You just expand. I'm expanding my own horizons as I'm learning about these different areas of the media. I'm still playing with my wrench too, by the way. As we're learning about these different areas of the media and what I'm learning about it and how it's becoming a big part of the world and even what I do in the collector car world, because obviously it is a worldwide phenomenon and this is getting out there in all those different facets of it. Alex says I've become famous. I don't think I've become famous. I don't think we're quite there yet. So a lot of you guys think it's pretty cool. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm diversified. I guess that's one way to put it. Anyway, I am still a nobody. I am still a nobody. There's no doubt about that, but it is cool. I'm kind of excited about it. The only problem is, believe it or not, I still don't think I'm as good as Johnny Carson, but thanks, big job. Pete, I hope your involvement will pull their articles more towards us in the Mid-South. That's one good thing about Old Cars Weekly is they are a much more diversified publication. I quit taking all the Hemmings magazines, Hemmings Muscle Cars and Hemmings Collector Car, whatever. They had 3 or 4 titles because all it was everything back east. There was nothing any other than back east stuff. Old Cars Weekly is much more diversified. They do use, contract writers from all over. So they do have a much more diverse platform than a lot of magazines do. So the most famous nobody we know. I couldn't forget all you guys. So this whole thing is a chat. It's not the Chad show. It's a chat with all of us. And we're all an important part of it. That's right. That's right, Alex. You follow the business where it leads you. There's some truth to that for sure. Eloy's here. I'm walking up the path of notoriety. I don't know about that, but I tell you what, in all honesty, it actually, there's 2 parts to a Mecum article. There is there's the vehicle part where I take pictures of cars while I'm there and make some notes and then write up a short 3 or 4 sentence synopsis of a particular vehicle, and it's just random vehicles. I actually try to not do Camaros, Chevelles, things like that are at every auction. I look for stuff that's different you don't always see. So I do the vehicle side of it where I have the picture. Usually I'll take 2 or 3 pictures and I'll pick one picture and then put the little synopsis together and then put a condition rating on it and then what it's sold for. And then there's the synopsis part of the auction, which is just a short 3, 4, 5 paragraph, half-page deal of what we saw there, how it went, things like that. So I write them in 2 parts. I'm the band leader. Bills are 100% behind you. I appreciate that. And that's one great thing about you guys. You guys are all behind me as well as everybody else on here. Because we are a big group that supports each other. But the vehicle part of it, I wrote that last week. Pete wants to be my agent. 10% of $100 ain't going to get you very far, Pete. So I wrote the vehicle part last weekend. And like I said, I've done it several times. I think I've done Indy once or twice. I've done Kansas City 2 or 3 times. I've done Tulsa once. So I've done several of these. So, I mean, it's not unfamiliar territory. And so I got the vehicle part knocked out. It was all real simple. And then the other day I had to, then I did the synopsis part Friday night. And it was twice as hard. I got this little piece of paper laying right here on my desk with a contract on it, and it actually made it much more difficult. I think it came out okay, but I want to skim it again. But it was weird because that piece of paper was laying there, and that was actually bothered me more than it did before. Because like before, I could screw up and it didn't matter. Now it's like real. Before, if I screwed up, it's like, well, I'm too dumb to know what I'm doing, so I screwed up. You guys can fix it. Now I have to fix it. So, but anyway. It was exciting to get that. So anyway, let's see what's going on. Bill Discs here from Freezing, Pennsylvania. It's like Kenny says, who's going to be Ed McMahon? I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. But I think we got a little ways to go before we've actually got to worry about that. Yeah, that's right, Ozark. It's kind of like homework now. It was real. Reality set in. Hudson badge. But anyway, whoever drinks the most Bud, there you go. Gray Kitty is Ed McMahon. Yeah, she'd be a pain in the butt is what she would do. But anyway, let's get on. That's about what I've got for open chat. Let's get to the promo model. Let's get to badges and emblems. And then let's try auctions again. Last week was a mess. The comments were a disaster. We had comments coming in 3 minutes after something happened. So you guys let me know. I've been trying to pretty much, catch most comments. Let me know if it looks like things are moving along pretty quickly. And we will do, 2 or 3 or 4 small things to start with and see how things are moving with the auction. So, but anyway, tonight's promo model. We're having a lot of fun with these. This was your guys' idea to start working a promo model into the chat. So I'm glad we did it. And this is kind of a neat one. Drum roll for the Auburn badge. This is a cute little promo. It has a lot of good things going for it. That cute little car, something you don't see very often. It is a friction. It is the 1961 Oldsmobile F85 station wagon in a light mint green. These are neat little cars. These little, I've got a few Tempest wagons in the yard. I've got a few special wagons in the yard. Don't have any F85 wagons, but this is a cute little car. It's in pretty decent shape. The bumper and grill still intact. A lot of times these bumper tips are knocked off. Original tires, hubcaps, with white walls all the way around. The rear bumper and the taillights, the chrome part has worn off of them, but they are intact. Pete just needs it. Yeah, a lot of you guys are digging this thing. I'm glad you like it. It is a neat little promo. Slight warpage to it. The bottom of this one is very plain. This was a Johan promo, and it actually says right on it, use of trademark and car design authorized by General Motors Corporation, Johan Models, Inc., Johan Models, Inc., Detroit, Michigan. It is a friction. Everybody loves this thing. Holy cow. It's just like a river of comments on this thing. The bottom of this is plain Jane. No engine or anything stamped into it. But we do have the friction drive unit up here, which does still work on the little F85 wagon. Green interior as well. Little bit of warpage here on the inside of the body panel right inside of there. This has back windows back here and on the sides, but the side windows are actually open. Jeff Taylor made it. Holy cow, there's like 20 comments of how cool this wagon is. Yeah, it's a cute little bugger. It's a neat little car. So glad you guys are enjoying it. But that's what's fun about it, is being able to do all of this stuff and bringing these promos out. And just like a 61 F85 wagon, who thinks about 61 F85 wagons? But when we pull this stuff out and we talk about the history and talk about that point in time, it's super cool. So, and just like the comments on here, Kevin said he'd love to have a real one because they're neat little cars. So even across the back, you can see the letters are actually molded into the tailgate where it said Oldsmobile. You can see the stacked taillight housings. Brian says it sounds like I'm describing a real car. Well, it's a toy car, and it's a cool toy car. We're all having fun with it. So, yeah, that's part of it. So, Nate's here. Glad you made it, Nate. Just got back from my first test drive on his wagon. Did you get it swapped, or are you still running the original drivetrain, Nate? That's right. Now they're all SUVs, so. Neat little 61 Olds F85 station wagon in mint green for the promo tonight. So, obviously, you guys were excited about that one. I was excited about it. We got more cool stuff coming up. We'll dig another promo out for next week, but I'm glad everybody had a lot of fun with this one on this cute little Oldsmobile. Legend badge. Speaking of badges, let's check a few more out. As always, when we get to the badges, we start off with a pre-war badge. Then we go to a post-war badge. And we check out some cool stuff and talk about those particular vehicles. This first badge we're going to talk about is an enamel badge from the 30s. It is a super cool piece. It is a bolt-on piece. It's a little bit different. Now I'll go see if there's a car on eBay. Yeah. But sticking with the Oldsmobile theme for the first badge of tonight is a headlight bar badge. The wagon is swapped. Woohoo! All right, Nate. The Buick wagon is now LS swapped with overdrive and runs great. So super excited about that. But sticking with the Oldsmobile theme for tonight's badge, we are going to look at the 1932 to 1934 Oldsmobile headlight bar badge. This is a little bit different. All right, it's a minty little wagon. That's right, Bill. This is a little bigger. It's long and narrow. It is 5 inches by 1.25 inches. So this is 5 inches long by 1.25 inches high. It is a black background. This was just all actual metal. The letters and the outside perimeter were part of the metal casting. Obviously, were probably much more polished at the time against the black, but it's a cool piece. It has had a little bit of chipping here by the D. Starts off with a small O, and the letters follow the shape of the oval by getting bigger in the middle. This was actually a screw-on badge. It mounted, from what I found on there again, one of my new favorite website, AmericanAutoEmblems.com. Whoops. This mounted on the headlight bar across the front of the car between the headlights. So Pete's never seen one. I would assume they're pretty rare. I don't think I've ever seen one. That's right. Mike says Olds made some cool stuff. So a headlight bar badge. Yep. Oldsmobile had them. That's what this was. I've got some for Chryslers. Chryslers actually had a number on them. I need to get some of those Chrysler headlight bar badges out from the same era. Boldsmobile. Yep. That's true, Alex. It's a cool 30 style font as well. A lot of you guys haven't seen this, haven't seen anything like this. And like I said, a lot of these badges that I got out of that collection in Missouri, I hadn't seen them. A lot of it was Greek to me. So like I said, slight curvature to it, but very slight. And screw mounts on the back on the headlight bar badge for the 1932 to 1934 Oldsmobile. Bill says next week we need a red promo for next week. Okay, we'll see if we can arrange that. The second badge, as always, we move up a few decades to a post-war badge and talk about a whole different car and a whole different era. And we're going to move up to the muscle car era this time and go to a Mopar piece. This is for a Challenger. This is actually an emblem for what was commonly known as the power bulge hood on the Challenger. They had 2 types of hoods available, actually 3, if you count the basic hood for a Challenger. And then, of course, the iconic shaker hood for a Challenger in the early 70s. But the more common performance-oriented hood was what was commonly known as the power bulge hood, that it had a big hump in the middle and 2 little scoops out on the sides. That's what we've got tonight. We've got an emblem off the side of a power bulge hood off of a 70 Challenger of what would have been a V-code car for a 446 pack. This actually came off of a car that I used to own. It was not a 6-pack car. Somebody had just stuck these emblems on it. So I figured, well, it's not a 6-pack car. I'm just going to keep one of these for my collection. This is an original. I'm sure they reproduce these. I didn't look, but I'm sure they do. This is 8.5 inches long. That's right, Bill. Speaking of a 6-pack, how about that? 8 inches long by about 1 inch tall. The 440 a little bit smaller. The 6-pack obviously definitely in your face on that. I think the 6-pack was red originally, but I'm not sure. Like I said, this is an original. It's some of the coloring is worn off. This is a flat mounted badge with studs. They were like barrel nuts on them that held it to the side of the hood on the power bulge hood. And they have these for anything you can get a power bulge hood with. I don't think you could get it with a 318, but you could get it with a 340 or a 440 or, of course, a Hemi. And then, you got the appropriate badges for that particular engine on the sides of the hood. So there again, moving up a few decades to a completely different aspect, but obviously Mopar muscle cars have become legendary and they're highly sought after. And I thought this was kind of a unique piece. So when I sold that Challenger, I was like, I'm going to keep that for my collection. So I popped it off. Figured we'd share it with you guys tonight. So that's what we've got for the emblems and badges tonight. The 1932 to 1934 Oldsmobile front hood or front headlight bar badge and the 446 pack for a V code, V in the VIN, 8 digits of the VIN. I think it was the 8th digit of the VIN, was the engine size for a 70 Challenger. V would have been 446 pack, U would have been 444 barrel, and I believe R was Hemi. So this would have been a V code 70 Challenger 446 pack, power bulge hood, side emblem, and of course the beautiful 1932 to 1934 Oldsmobile headlight bar badge. So a lot of you guys like them. I'm glad you do. When you guys are telling me that you guys think it's cool, that means I picked out good stuff. So glad you guys enjoyed it. All right. So I got my good friend Gene on. Gene came out today, just sent me a text, and he came out and picked up some wheels today. It was always good to see Gene. He's joining us tonight, and I don't think he's ever been on with us because he was asking me how to get on. So I hope everything's connecting good with Gene, but he sent me a text. It looked like he is on, so we'll want to welcome Gene to the chat tonight as well. He came up and picked up some rims for an old Dodge today, so hopefully he gets that truck up and rolling as well. Alec really liked the Challenger badge. Yep, it's pretty cool stuff, so. Anyway, let's try some auctions. Let's see if it works. Let's see if it cooperates. Auburn badge. Obviously last week the auctions did not work worth a crap. You know, the timing was off. The comments weren't feeding. So what we're going to do is we're going to try a few small things, and then you guys tell me what, how things are going. I'll watch for the bids like always. And libraries will help you welcome my friend Gene. Thanks, appreciate that, guys. That's right, Throw Sparks, but you used to be able to pick that stuff up for peanuts, and if you just had the money to buy them, the space to store them for 30 years, it would you could be doing pretty well right now. That's right, the TA hood. That's another good point, Bill. I forgot about the TA hood, the Challenger. And I say TA, there was a Challenger TA hood. That's right. You're completely right, Bill. I've got a buddy that just built one of those cars, an original one. So I appreciate you correcting me on that one because there again, I forget some stuff sometimes. You guys are right there for me. Ozark Fox, if you had the money, the dealer would power bulge a slant 6. I'm sure the dealer would put one on a slant 6 if you wanted one. Mark says, we'll see how it goes. Pete says, looks like the delays are working good on his end. So let's give it a shot, and we'll hope things work tonight. I've got some cool stuff loaded up, so we'll see how things go. But we'll start off with a few small things. As always, auctions, details, and rules. I'll hold something up. We'll check it out. We'll take a look at it. That's right, Mark. We don't need no stinking delays. We'll describe it. We'll give you some dimensions. We'll look at the condition. We'll get an overall view of the item. If you're interested in it, go ahead and throw something out there. So even if it's a low bid, just so I know we've got some interest in it to get us going. After we get done with the description, we will tell us what time it is so we can see the delay. Right now, my clock is showing 7:38. Actually, just switched to 7:39 on the other computer. So right in there is kind of where I'm at. Just switch to 7:39 on YouTube. So after we get through the description and the condition and checking it out, I will put it on a 2-minute timer. I will just hit the timer on my phone right here. We will go for 2 minutes. I will tell you when 1 minute has passed. I will tell you when 1:30 has passed. When I tell you 1:30 has passed, be thinking about your maximum bids. Dave W says he was already at 39. So I'll tell you when 1 minute has passed. I'll tell you when 1:30 is here. Depending on your delay. Under normal circumstances, we see delays anywhere from 5 to 30 seconds. Last week, it was like 3 minutes, but typically 5 to 30 seconds. That's why I always give you the 1:30 warning so you know to be thinking about those max bids. If it's something you're really interested in, when you see that 1:30, if it's something somebody really wants, they'll throw a heavy bid out there, and a lot of times they take care of the snipers. There are some guys who get this thing down pat and are pretty good snipers, and they can get those bids in the last few seconds and snipe somebody. So I will let you know when we hit a minute 30, and be thinking about those max bids. Payment, check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family. I will take any of those. Non-U.S. bidders, you're welcome to play. However, you will have to figure out, you will have expense, whatever the expense incurs as far as getting me paid, based on what the bank wire charges, things like that, and you will also have the additional shipping charges. Most of these small items, shipping is included. If we have to ship out of the U.S., that shipping will be the responsibility of the buyer, for the simple fact that this thing kind of feeds itself. And if we have to spend a fortune shipping 2 packages overseas and there's no money to replenish the auction, that isn't fair to everybody else. So if we do have a bigger piece that I do have shipping include, that I will have separate shipping in the United States, I will tell you that right up front before we get started. So any questions, just throw them out there. If you're not sure what's going on and you're new to us and you want to go ahead and bid, throw a bid out there. If you win, I'll get you written down. If you're still not sure what to do, just give me a shout tomorrow. My phone number is in the description part of the video. So Big Job has big news. Just found out tonight his little girl's going to make him a grandpa so that's awesome. Super exciting. Congratulations, Big Job. Looks like a lot of you guys already beat me to it. Zach, Whiskey Business is here. A little job's on the way. That's right. That's a good way to put it. That's right, Ozark. I was wondering last week, I was wondering if you're getting bids at noon tomorrow. That's for sure. So we'll kick it off. We'll try a few things. We'll see how it goes. If it's crashing again tonight, we'll just leave everything in there till next week. If it keeps boogieing, we'll go ahead and run with the full deal tonight. I'll give you another Auburn badge to keep thinking about things. Kenny, I'm good here from nowhere. Nobody's delay, not too bad. Good. Perfect. Mike's here. Alex says congrats on Facebook as well. Let's pick out a few small things to get started with here. We'll start off with a few things that we'll get things rolling with that is still cool. They're just not, not big high ticket items to kind of get so people can kind of figure out where they're at. We've been doing a lot of matchbooks on here. I bought a big matchbook collection. We found some super cool matchbooks in there. We've been selling a few of those off. We'll start off with some matchbooks, maybe do another can and maybe a license plate here. In fact, I think that is what we'll start with, these 3 pieces to kind of get everybody, figuring out where things are at and if they're working. So you guys let me know if we've got problems. I will read the bids as soon as I see them pop up, just to kind of help everybody know where we're at. Even the ones that are outbid, I'll still read. Sometimes I skip them. If I get a whole bunch of them at once, sometimes I will skip the lower bids because everybody before come in at once, I'll just hit the high bid. So we'll see how that goes, but let's give it a shot, see if it's going to work tonight. We'll start off with some matchbooks. And tonight we're going to do a train collection. Obviously, it's Christmas time. Trains are kind of synonymous with Christmas. So we're going to start off with a set of train matchbooks. The first one, the UP, the Union Pacific Railroad through Cedar City, Utah. Zion National Park, Grand Canyon, Bryce Canyon, Kaibab, Cedar Breaks National Monument. Super cool. Bright colors. Super cool scene. I don't know if it's a Grand Canyon or what. The UP logo on the UP matchbooks. The second one is the Milwaukee Road, the route of the Hiawathas. The super cool train. Zach has got a Rusty Crusty 63 tag. Now, we can throw it in with some tags and auction it off if you wanted to do that. This one is super cool with an awesome graphic of the engine on here in color as well. Oh, inside, travel with pleasure, ship with confidence on the Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Paul Pacific. Inside the first one, the Utah Parks Company has a bunch of travel information, lodges, dining, things like that on the Union Pacific one. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate that. One more on the train matchbook. This thing is so super cool. The Southern Pacific Lines, 4 scenic routes, and this matchbook unfolds to show a train all the way across the matchbook. Beautiful colors on this thing, extremely decorative. I'm guessing these are probably 30s or 40s. Go one way, return another. Alec is starting us off at 5 on Facebook. So I do have that on Facebook with Alec at 5, Tim at 12. I'm trying to read these as soon as I see them so that you guys know where we're at. So we're going to do Jason at 13. We're going to do all 3 of these matchbooks in one shot deal. And these all have, 2 of these actually have the engine on them. One of them is just a scene with the UP logo. X-Ray at 14. Let's get this thing on the timer. And Tim at 15. I'm trying to read these as soon as they pop up. Jason at 20. So hopefully we're working. Hopefully. Alec at 15. I've already got Jason at 20, but I just want to make sure you guys see when we know when this is coming. So let's see. Looks like the delay situation is not near as bad this time, which is outstanding. Alec at 23. And Tim at 25. 1 minute has passed. Tim at 25. Looks like we're ticking along pretty good tonight. That's good. After the headache last week was. Tim at 25 is our high bidder. These are pretty cool. Great colors. Definitely something you don't see anymore with this kind of artwork on friggin' matchbooks. And 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. Alec at 27. $15 seconds. Alec at 27 is the high bidder. 10. And that does, Tim came back at 28 at 201. Holy cow. Well, we had a little bit of a delay feed there because Tim came back at 28, but it was at 201. I already had Alec at 27. But at least things are looking better on the delay. All right, there were some comments that I missed. I'm going to back up and catch those real quick. I skipped a bunch of those comments because I was just super, super hyper focused on watching these bids come in, not knowing what we were up against tonight. Let's see. Some comments that the delays aren't too bad for anybody. Big job. I believe the guy who bought the Hiawatha from the Milwaukee Railroad was the same man that owned Quad Graphics, the big printing mogul. Okay. That's right, Zach. Watch out for the snipers. Yeah, that's right. Tim is dialed in now. That's another good way to put it. Actually, Tim is dialed in. He knows exactly where we're at. Yeah, Gray Kitty fixed it. Gray Kitty ain't done nothing. She's over there sleeping. Right, dum-dum? Hey, dummy. Dummy. She don't care. All right. Well, that's makes me feel a little bit better. I tell you what, we got done last week after fighting this thing for whatever we were out 30 or 40 minutes. We fought it before we finally just pulled the plug on it. I was beat. I was wore out from trying to make this thing work. So let's start off with a couple more cheaper, cool things, though. I've got them laid out. Let's go ahead and start off with them. This is a little bit different. It's actually a metal can, but it's with a paper label. And Larry, we've done a few things like this. It's something completely different. But you guys have liked it in the past. Again, it's not a high dollar piece, but it's a good starter piece. It is a metal can paper label for the Miles and Moe's handmade quality cigar. She won't answer the dummy. She's too smart. Yeah, she just don't care. Alex says if Tim really wants the matchbooks, he can have them if he really wants them. So that's up to you guys. I've got them marked to Alec at this point. So if you guys change your mind, let me know. But the Miles and Moe's handmade cigar can. No lid on it. It is a square can. Like I said, some of this stuff, it's a little off topic, but we've done a few weird things like this before, and you guys thought they were cool, so I don't have a problem mixing some of it in sometimes. It is about 5.5 inches tall. And 3 3.25 on the square part. X-ray Dean at 10. On the back it says Wayne Cigar Company, Charles Spites and Burt Wark, factory number 33, 1st District, Michigan. Like I said, the label is a little rough on it, but it's just a cool piece. So I know we've done some weird things like this in the past, and you guys thought they were pretty cool. It does have some tearing. Yeah, it'd be a great pencil can, Kevin. But it has this other thing. I don't know if this was like a tax stamp where it says 25 over here where it's torn off. X-ray says I don't even smoke. But yeah, it's just cool. Eric's here with us. Glad you made it. She's awake, hiding out, waiting for shrimp and catnip. Yeah, she just zonked. So here's the Wayne Cigar Company information on the back. It's got holes in the bottom of it. It says factory number 33, 25, 1st District, Michigan on the bottom of it. So like I said, it's got some damage over here, but it just got really cool colors, just something kind of different and something kind of off the wall. So X-ray Dean at 10, we're going to go ahead and start this thing off, and maybe that's all it's worth. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of cool. Something kind of different. Thought we'd mix it in. Good starter piece. So we are live on the timer on this one. I'm going to write it down. Whereabouts in Michigan? I couldn't make it out. Because if you look real close, there's some damage to the label. Where to say that? Right here. This is there. You can see the Michigan, and that's where it said the city. So it's damaged right there. So I got X-ray Dean at 10. Mark at 12. Trying to read bids as soon as they pop up. Mark at 12. And we're coming up on the 1 minute mark on this one. 1 minute has now passed. Mark at 12. Minute 20 has now passed. Mark at 12. One minute, 30 seconds has passed. We're running up on the end of this one. If you're thinking about it, now's the time to get in. Like I said, probably not a super high dollar can, but still a pretty cool can. Mark at 12. 20 seconds left to go. $10. X-ray at 14. Mark at 15. And that does it. Mark at 15. Extra is too early. Yep. Let's start off with a cheaper. Let's do a cheaper license plate now as well, just to kind of keep things moving and kind of get everybody a little familiar with where we're at. It looks like things are working tonight, so that's a much better sign than what we've been dealing with. So that's right. Not much delay there. Those kind of right there at the end. So like I said, we'll do a little. This plate's pretty cool. It's got good color, but it's got a little bit of peeling. So we'll go ahead and do it just so we get a little bit better feel where we're at before we get into some of this other stuff and start moving through some of it. We've got some more of Addie's caps tonight. Actually, she's got a GM, a Ford, and a Mopar tonight in caps. We've got some more license plates. We've got a few little toys and, of course, emblems and ornaments and cans. So, and maybe a valve cover if we get that far. But the first plate we'll do tonight, Like I said, it has good color, but it's got a little bit of peeling on this. 1965 Kansas Cloud County. It's kind of, I think it's supposed to be a bright red. I think it's supposed to be a bright red. That's, I think it looks kind of orangish, but I think it was supposed to be a bright red. We've got a little bit of peeling over here on the side. White lettering, CD, Cloud County, 2098, 1965. Backside still looks pretty good on this one. Just a little bit of peeling around the edges. Nice display piece. Just, not a high point piece you would put on a restored car, but, a good look to it, showing a little bit of age and a little bit of weathering on this 1965 Kansas plate. It is a standard 12 by 5 3/4 inch plate. So just your basic deal. Like I said, starting off with a few cheaper items. Looks like things are working, but these were the 3 pieces I kind of had set up to sacrifice to see if it was going to work. So the 1965 Cloud County plate in red with white trim on this one. So Jason's at 15, starting us off. Let's get this thing rolling. X-Ray, I love the Kansas 41 plates, similar with yellow letters. Yeah, that's another good point too, X-Ray. Let me get this one written up here. I'm going to keep a real close eye on comments still as we go here, to make sure I read stuff as soon as possible. All right, Jason at 15 is what we've got right now. That's who started us off. And we'll keep an eye on things. But it looks like things are going to work tonight, at least for the time being. So we'll start moving on to some other stuff here shortly. But we'll finish up this license plate first. Let me do a little bit of looking here, see what we got for some emblems. We need to do some emblems and badges. Anthony's getting thirsty. We definitely need to give you one of those badges. Apologize. 1 minute has now passed. Jason at 15. He may walk out here with this one. Like I said, it's not a high dollar plate. It was these few things were kind of a sacrificial thing in case the system didn't work again. But minute 20 has now passed. Mike says snipers in the bushes. Yeah, that could be. Minute 30 has now passed. 1 minute, 30 seconds is gone. We're coming down to the end on this one. If you're thinking about it, now's the time. 20 seconds left. Mark at 16. There's the first shot. 10 seconds left. And that does it. Mark at 16. Send it to Norma, Mark says. We can do that. Make that note. All right. I got this other little cool piece. We do a lot of emblems and ornaments and badges and things like that on here. And this is something kind of different. We've looked at some like radio delete plates and stuff over the years, and a lot of that stuff is pretty cool. I found this piece that I thought was kind of neat, and I thought we'd see if you guys liked it too. This is actually a clock delete out of an old Buick. This is where the clock would have been in the dash, only this says this car didn't have a clock, so they just put drive safely Buick 8 right up on the dash, right in the clock hole. This is early 50s. Kind of a unique piece. Like I said, we've looked at some radio deletes that are really cool. You see the lens in this one. You see the reflection on the lens. Kind of the Art Deco styling of the early 50s. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. There's kind of lines that go around that circle this, and then the Buick 8 over the top of it. As you know, this bezel is chrome on the back, just a basic mounting bracket. But I thought it was something kind of different, so I thought we would check it out and see what you guys think of it. So different things you could do. Almost cooler. That's right, X-Ray. It's almost kind of cooler than the clock. that's why I yanked it out and thought I'd see if any of you guys wanted one for your own collection. So X-ray started us off at 12. Let me give you a dimension on it real quick. Bill disc at 25. It's 3 1/4 and 4 1/4. So this inside ring is 3 1/4. By the time you get here to the outside ring, it is 4 1/4. So in here, 3 1/4 across, 4 1/4 out there. Alec just popped up at 10, but I've already got Bill Disc at 25 on YouTube. So Bill Disc at 25 is my high bidder. Let's get this thing on the timer so we can keep things moving tonight. Bill Disc at 25. And we are live. So it is cool. You see the 50 styling in the font. And like I said, I don't know if you guys can see the lines, kind of running in a circle around there, but it is there again. It's the stupid delete plate for the clock. And it's this cool. I mean, and that's what we talk about from that era is the styling. All they needed to do was paint a plate and screw it in a hole to fill the hole. And that's all they had to do. But they did this just for the delete. But we've seen some of that, like the Studebaker radio delete we saw. I mean, some of the delete stuff is cooler than the actual options, just like X-Ray just said. Bill Disc at 25. As we're coming up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute has now passed. Bill Disc at 25. A minute 20 has passed. Ozark Fox had a 55 Ford with radio clock and heater delete. Bill Disc putting on his sniper vest. 1 minute 30 seconds has passed. $20 seconds left. Bill at 25. 10. Mark at 28. Alec at 27, but I've got Mark at 28 on YouTube. And that does it. Mark at 28. Mark's on fire tonight. He's got the delay down. All right, at least things are working tonight. How about a can bundle? Who wants to do a can bundle? Two cans. These are composites. These were the cardboard corks, but these are both cool with cool colors. I think we've done them both in the past. We've never done them together. We've done them in other different groups. So I'm going to put two of these two together and see what you guys think. One being the Skelly Supreme in the gold and blue with great colors. Skelly Supreme on both sides. This one was punched at the top. Like I said, these are cardboard, but they are in good shape because a lot of times these cardboard, if they get any sort of weather on them, they'll literally collapse. This one still looks really good. A couple of comments popping up here that I missed. That's right. They don't have Tesla touchscreen deletes. That's for sure. Mark says he's definitely keeping that one. Bud, style and personality are long gone from newer cars. That's for sure. But this is a standard size quart on the Skelly. And to go with that, we're going to throw in another one of these popular Kindles. A lot of you guys have liked these Kindles. This is the red Kindle. A little bit of discoloration on the top of the Kindle. It was also used, drained out of the top, SAE 30. It is also a composite quart, but still holding good shape and good form, as opposed to a lot of these that literally will just collapse under time and under different weather conditions. So, got those two quarts on this one. And what else do we have here? What do you guys think of these two? I got to put something down here. I got too much stuff in my hands. How about an Auburn badge? We'll do that. Dennis is starting us at 10 on the cans. We'll just go ahead and do Bill at 15. Let's just go ahead and do these things. These are good looking cans. I like both of these. Let's get it started off. Bill Disc at 15 on this particular can bundle. Dennis at 25. The Skelly is Skelly on both sides of the Kindle. Actually has details and specifics on the back. The Kindle Refining Company division of Whitco Chemical Corporation, Bradford, Pennsylvania. Famous for quality lubricants since 1881. On the back of the Kindle quart. It's tricky holding on to two of these at once. As we come up, look at this, on the 1 minute mark. Yeah, I'm juggling the phone and the quarts. As we hit the 1 minute mark, Dennis at 25 is my high bidder on the pair, both for one money. Bottoms are still intact on both of them. How about I do this? A minute 20 has now passed. How about that? There we go. Let's do that. Dennis at 25. As a minute 30 passed, we've just hit the minute 30 mark. Dennis at 25 on the pair is my high bidder. $20 seconds. 10. And that does it. We'll mark these to Dennis at 25. Mainly keeping them dry is the big thing, Eric, I think. I mean, if they had extreme temperatures like some of our friends in Canada are dealing with, I'm sure it could affect them. But mainly keeping them dry and out of the weather, and they do a pretty good job of holding their shape. But you see stuff that's gotten moisture on it and stuff, these things literally unravel, fall apart. You know, at least the metal cans still keep their shape. These will fall apart. That's why I'm not opposed to adding these to my collections, because I think eventually they're going to be harder to find than some of the metal ones. Plus, if you like the stuff, just like we, just a perfect example right there. Those are both great looking cans, and you don't have to break the bank to get into some of that stuff, where some of these cans are bringing in the thousands of dollars. Let's do something a little bit different here. This is going to be two pieces for one. We've never done it. We haven't done these. Well, we've done one of these kind of like these. The first one is actually a clip, like a dash clip, for R&J Service, a Phillips 66 station in Luray, Kansas. It's like an ice scraper and a clip, but it's got the Phillips logo on it. So it's kind of a cool little piece. Along with that, we're going to throw in an ashtray for Bob Allison Sales and Service for Ford. It doesn't say where it's at. It says 1250 Pinecrest, but it doesn't say where it was at. Obviously, it hasn't been used because it's not burned. So in pretty good shape for an ashtray. There again, these are a couple of different pieces of memorabilia, but they're still cool. They both still got the logos on them, with this having the Ford, this having the Phillips 66. Something kind of different. So thought we'd throw them both together and see what you guys think. The Ford ashtray still looks great on the bottom as well. The clip / ice scraper is 3 3/8 by 3 7/8. I think that's like to clip it on your sun visor, I think, is what I'm guessing. And the Ford ashtray is 4 1/4. So both pieces, one money. What do you guys think on these? Different pieces of memorabilia, but they've got the company logos on them, so they're kind of cool pieces. So you guys tell me what you think, and maybe you don't like them. We have, like I said, we've done some ashtrays. They're usually a little bit cooler than this one. That's right, ashtray and clip combo. That's exactly what it is. But they both have the company logos on them. One factory dealership, one oil company. So, like I said, it's different. And if you guys don't like them, we don't have to do them. We'll see what you guys think. So we'll give it a few more seconds. If nobody's interested in them, we'll throw. Oh, Mark's still in there. Mark's at 10. So we'll go ahead and roll with it. Tweedly D at 15. Let's get him kicked off. And hopefully that was just you guys thinking about it and not a delay issue, because I had two of them hung up, two of them that hit right away right after that, and that's what we started seeing last week. So let me know if that was still timing correctly. So that's right, Stan. I forgot the beanbag ashtrays. You sit them on the dash and have the beanbag on it to hold it. Yep, I do remember those. Okay, Mark says timing is still good. Thanks. I appreciate that, Mark. After last week, and I see two things pop up really all of a sudden after we were kind of sitting there for a minute, I get kind of worried. So Tweedly D comes out of hiding, but he said he's been here. So Tweedly D at 15 as we hit the 1 minute mark. Mark's back at 16. And a minute 20 has now passed. We're coming up on that minute 30 mark. Mark at 16. Minute 30 has passed. 1 minute 30 seconds is gone. So if you're interested in these, now's the time to be thinking about your max bid. Mark at 16 is our high bidder. 20 seconds left. $10. Tweedly D at 20. And that does it. Tweedly D at 20 got that in at about 158. Perfect shot. How about a badge bundle? Who's ready for a badge bundle? Two different pieces here. For the standard of the world, Cadillacs. This is a trunk emblem off of like a 67, 68 era. This is a metal emblem. Nice bright chrome. It is 5 3/4 by about 1.5 inches at the tall part of the C. Chrome, pretty much flat. It's got a slight curvature to it. Stud mount, nice bright chrome. That's right, getting this busting out the sunglasses. On the 67, I think, Cadillac trunk emblem. Now, to go along with this, another cool Cadillac piece is a horn button from like a 62 Cadillac. This thing is super cool with the crest on it. This is a plastic center with a chrome outside ring and a satin on the inside ring. That's right, Leo. They were nice old boats. This actually has clips on the back to pop it into the horn ring. However, they are screwed on. So that could be removed, and you would just have the flat button with the Cadillac crest in it. Mark at 15 is kicking us off on this one. Both pieces, both original. That thing's actually kind of heavy for what it is. 67, I think, trunk emblem. 62 horn button. Original Cadillac pieces. Original chrome. And original metal, that's for sure. Let's get them live on the timer, and I'm going to get my notes made. Mark at 15 on the Cadillac pieces. All right, I need to be thinking about what we're going to do next. Zach is in at 16. I do have a valve cover laying down here. We can do it here in a little bit if you guys are interested in a valve cover. We do have another one laying here. We sold the mate to it a few months ago, and I've got the other one laying here tonight. So as we're coming up on the 1 minute mark, I've got Zach at 16. And 1 minute has now passed with Zach sitting here, the high bid at 16. Hopefully everything is still ticking along and working tonight. And 1:20 has now passed. And 1:30 has now passed. We're at the 1:30 mark. If you're thinking about jumping in on these, Zach at 16 is my high bidder. Sniper's loading, says X-Ray. And these are cool pieces. These are original Cadillac pieces from the 60s, all metal, bright chrome, cool pieces. But we're coming down to the wire. I've got Zach at 16, 10 seconds left to go. Are snipers out there, or is Zach going to walk out of here with this one? Mark at 17, Jason at 18. And that does it. Jason at 18. Mark came back at 20, but he was about a second and a half too late. Jason at 18. All right. Let's do a cap. This is just one I've got, and then we'll get it. Addie's got 3 for tonight. We'll get into those here in a little bit. Pure Pontiac is ready to go. Sorry about that, guys. The first cap we're going to do, this is one I've had laying around, and then we'll get into we'll do a few more things, then we'll do Addie's. I need a PMD OHC 6 cover. I've got one. I don't want to sell it, but I've got one because they're so cool. Plus, I don't know if I can ship it because the stupid cam is stuck in it. It weighs like 150 pounds or something like that. It ain't that bad, but it's a heavy valve cover with the cam stuck in it. But yep, I do have one on the shelf. But the first cap we'll start off with tonight, like I said, this is one of mine. This is off a bigger truck for a super cool old International. This is off of like a KB5-ish, I think. This is a 40s era International. Great 3D or 3 diamond layout with the International across. It does have some dings and dents around here. Chrome's a little thin, a little weak, but a good looking cap. Had these clips on the side, but some of the clips are broken. There's the back side of it. It is not all rusted out or anything. This International cap is, Jason started us off at 25, about 8 inches. It curves. You can see how it curves down, so it's tough to get exactly on it. But outside to outside, the furthest point is roughly 8 inches on this International cap. The inside diameter back here where it clips onto the wheel is 6 5/8. So we're about 6 5/8 across the back. Jason's kicking us off at 25. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling on the timer. The dings and dents are on the outside, and that's right, X-Ray D, and that's what I was just getting ready to say. The emblem part, the money shot, where it really counts, still looks really nice on this thing. You know, these things get clobbered in the middle of the 3 diamonds. It really stinks. This is 40s era, 41 to 48 KB5. I don't know if they used it on any other ones. This one came off of a KB5. I don't know if they may have used it on some of the other ones as well. But this is 40, would have been 41 to 49. So I'm going to say the truck this came off of was late 40s. But it's off one at the yard, so. Jason's kicking us off at 25. As we're coming up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute has now passed, so we're on the backside of this thing, and Jason is probably getting a little bit nervous right now. That's right, working man dings. That's a good way to put it. Like I said, it didn't clobber the emblem, though. That's what's so great about it. 1:20 has now passed. Jason at 25, and nobody's moved since then. As we hit the minute 30 mark, 1 minute 30 seconds has passed. $20 seconds left. Nothing happening. Jason might be safe. We'll see. 10. Zach at 37, Bill at 38, Tim at 30, Kenny at 35, and we're done. Let's sort it out. Bill at 38. Holy cow, that got interesting. Zach had 39, but that came at 2:01. So Bill at 38. Yeah, they would have been like big iron spoke wheels, Ozark, but Bill at 38. Oh, yes. That got interesting. Let me get this written down here. That got pretty crazy, but Bill at 38, man, Zach was just a second late with his next bid, but I had Bill Disc at 38 at the 2-minute mark. All right. That was fun. That was interesting, to say the least. We got any tractor guys with us tonight? Let me know if we got some tractor guys with us. I may have something for you guys tonight. Everyone was reloading, that's for sure. That got crazy. Let's do another early badge. This one's a little bit rough, but it is still cool. This is a late 20s era badge. We're going to give you an Auburn badge to think about it first, but we'll build the suspense. Before we get into this badge, like I said, it is chipped up. It is a little rough. I think it is 26, 27, 28 era on this Chevrolet badge. Jason, I'm an anything old and rusty guy. Like I said, I think this is around 27, 28. It is definitely chipped up. I mean, we can see it's definitely got color loss. Eric at 15. Eric ain't even messing around. Eric is ready to go. 15 on this. It is chipped up here. We still see some white down here. We still see a decent amount of blue in it, though. You can definitely still tell what it is. It was a button mount where they pushed the button on it, kind of similar to the back of this one, but that is missing. It is a flat-mounted badge. Let me give you the size on this thing. X-ray at 17. It is 4 inches by an inch and 3/8. 4 inches, inch and 3/8. So 4 inches long. Late 20s, Kenny, I think. I think this is 27, 28 era is what I'm guessing. I didn't double check the dimensions and everything, but I know I've seen some in that era that use this badge of this size. So I'm guessing 27, 28, but don't hold that to me or hold me to that. But that's what I think I remember seeing these on of this era. So anyway, I've got X-ray at 17. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the timer. And we're ticking along. We are live. These things are great without the chipping, but there again, what's cool about it is you can still make out all the letters. You still know what it is. It's still got enough color. Could you paint it? Yeah, you could paint it. Because I don't know if you guys can see it. If you look close enough, and I don't know if you guys are going to be able to make it out on the screen, you can still see the outline in the metal where all those edges were around the letters. You see the outline around where the white was, where it broke from the blue. You can still see the line. So yes, this could be painted. So it is a cool piece. Jason says, but he wouldn't paint it. 1 minute has passed. X-ray at 17. Still keeping an eye out on both of them. This I don't know. This one might get interesting as well. Couple bids right out of the gate, and then crickets. Big Job says the shooting range is now open. And he is actually correct because we are at the minute 30 mark. We just hit the 1 minute, 30 second mark. So you are 100% correct, Big Job. The shooting range is now open. X-Ray Dean says refresh. I was showing a delay that wouldn't reset. So hopefully you're refreshed now. 20 seconds left to go. X-Ray at 17. Kenny at 22. 10. Kenny at 22. Eric at 25. And that does it. Eric at 25. Kenny came back at 26. Zach was 27. They were all too late. Eric at 25. Eric was trying to cover himself too, but Eric had it at 25 on my screen at the 2 minute. All right. Let's see. We got tractor guys with us. Any toy tractor guys tonight? I just pulled these up. You tell me what you think. I have no idea if these are cool or not because I'm not a tractor guy. So you tell me what you guys think. And if you guys don't like these, I'll throw them in the swap meet box. But these were kind of cool. So that's right, Pastor. You have gotten real lively at the end. Joe's got a tractor right there on the screen. This is a little, I don't even know what this one is. It doesn't even have a name on it. It is a metal body with plastic wheels. I'm guessing it's probably 60s. That's right, David. Red IH power. Has the engine painted silver. Kind of has some of the engine stuff cast into it. Kind of a plain front end. Wheels are a little wobbly, but they are intact. Bottom is open. It's just a kind of a cheaper casting on this little, yeah, like David W. says, probably an IH power, IH tractor. The second one is a Hubley, and I'm going to call it a Ford because it's blue. It actually says Hubley right on the side of it. Has an H right here on the front of it. Has a pretty sharp grill on it. Same thing, metal body, plastic tires. The bottom of this one is enclosed. That's right, it looks like a Farmall. A little more detail to the engine on this one. Open through here. Has the steering wheel and the seat and everything on it. So, like I said, I'm not much of a toy tractor guy. I don't know if any of you are. You tell me. I just thought they were kind of neat. I was like, what the heck? I'll throw them in the box, and I'll see what you guys think. So if we see any interest in them, we can sell them. If not, I'll throw them back in the box and do something different with them. It's just, like I said, kind of a cool little different piece that I thought I'd see if any of you guys may or may not be interested in. So Lee's going to throw 10 out there to get started. X-Ray at 15. What the heck? Let's go ahead and sell them. You guys like them a little bit. Let's go ahead and sell them. X-Ray at 15. We are on the timer. I don't know what they're worth, but they got to be worth $15. So, I mean, I can't see how you can go too wrong with that. So I've got X-Ray at 15 on the pair. As we're ticking along here, I've got X-Ray at 15 on the pair. What do we want to do next? X-Ray at 15. Gray Kitty is still over there sleeping. Hey, wake up. 1 minute has now passed. We are at the 1 minute point. Throwing Sparks cool toys for big boys and girls. That's right. And these are in pretty decent shape, really. I just don't know nothing about them, but I can't see how they can't be worth something. I mean, because they are cool little pieces. And 1 minute, 20 seconds has now passed. I can't see how these things can't be worth 20 or 25 bucks a piece. I mean, for as decent a shape as they're in, and they've got some age to them. So X-Ray at 15. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. We're coming up close to the end of this one. 20 seconds left. X-ray at 15. Coming down to the wire on this one, just about done, 10. And that does it. X-ray at 15. That was a good deal. Red is IH color, but 60s. It's a 60s John Deere shape. Okay. And this is a 40s era Farmall style. And this is, he said, was a 60s era John Deere shape. Okay. Okay, let's do a license plate, and then let's do Addie's batch of caps. This is a 1968 Kansas. This is a pretty nice plate. Cloud County again, CD. Black and gold, I think. Black and gold or black and yellow on this 68 Kansas plate. Hopefully not. I don't know. That's actually not a bad idea, Mark, though. I mean, my eyes are just itchy, but you actually could be a good point. I'm going to get that allergy pills out, actually. Yeah, that's right. Actually, that was a good buy. The 1968 Cloud County CD 5815. I don't know if it's supposed to be yellow or goldish on the lettering. This is a standard size plate, the 12 by like almost 6 inches. The back of it looks really good. It's got some piece of tape here that says 1956 volts, whatever that means. Who knows? Mark at 15, Frank at 10. I've got Mark at 15 on this starting us off. But like I said, very little chipping. It is used. You can see where it had screws in it, but really still in pretty good shape. So Mark at 15. Let's get this thing live on the timer so we can keep moving here. Then we're going to get into Addie's caps. Frank at 20. And I'm going to get my allergy pill out. That was a good idea. I don't know if I'm going to need it or not, but my eyes started itching. Thanks for the reminder there, Mark, because I'm going to take one. Frank at 20. As we come up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute has now passed. Frank at 20. X-Ray says hit the like button. Appreciate that. And a minute 20 has now passed. We're coming down to the wire on this one. Frank at 20. Nice looking plate. Old school steel plate. Kenny at 22. And we've hit the minute 30 mark. We just hit the minute 30 mark. $20 seconds left. Frank at 25. Zach at 26. $10. And that does it. Zach at 26. Mark came back at 27, but that was at 2:01. I had Zach at 26 when we hit the end of the timer, and Frank was back at 29. All right, let's do Addie's caps. We got 3 of them tonight. 1 GM, 1 Ford, 1 Mopar. Send that one to Norma also. Throw it into Norma's bundle. We can do that, Zach. Let me mark that one, and we'll send that to Norma with the other one from Mark as a Christmas present from you guys. Appreciate that, and I know she does as well. All right. Starting off with the caps out of Addie's collection. We got 3 of them tonight. Starting off with Oldsmobile. This is an early 50s, I believe. I know we've done some stuff with this symbol on it. I don't know if we've done this exact cap before, but I do know we've done some different ones with this symbol on them. I think this is 51, 2, 3, something like that, I'm guessing. Nice shiny chrome on this one. Dings, dents, typical things like that, but I mean, the thing's 70 years old. Obviously, we still see some of the yellow in here. This, obviously, if we remember, the other caps would have been red. This is a steel back. It's got a little bit of rust on the back side of the plate. A little bit of water in it yet from when you washed it. A little bit of rust in it. The outside ring and everything all still intact on this one. On this early 50s era Oldsmobile, let me give you a dimension on this thing. Mark's got his sunglasses on. That was a good call. This thing is 10 1/4. 10 1/4 across outside on this Oldsmobile cap. Yes, it is definitely shiny. Like I said, it's got dings, dents, but like I said, most of these are display pieces that you hang on the wall of your man cave, and they're cool, especially when you get symbols like this, because a lot of guys today don't remember what some of these symbols are, which is pretty cool. That's because that's what people don't recognize. When they walk in and see this hanging up, like, what the heck is that thing? Oh, it's Oldsmobile. Because most people don't remember that type of a logo for Oldsmobile that they used in the 40s and into the early 50s. So on this Olds cap, early 50s, this is one out of Addie's collection. It's got a little tear in it. I just caught my finger on it, actually, right down there. Mark at 20, Tweedledee D at 25 on the Oldsmobile cap. Let's go and get this thing rolling. I'm going to start writing it up. I've got Tweedledee D at 25. And we'll just do all 3 of hers in a row so I keep my notes straight. As I kind of think about what we're going to do after these as well. These are easy. I'm going to do all 3 of hers. They're right in a row. I need to be thinking past that, or I'm going to get to the end of these and not have anything ready for you guys. So, going to defrost with you guys for a few minutes before I finish stacking wood. Well, glad you made it back, number 1. I absolutely have zero desire to be where you're at right now. So, glad you're hanging out in here to warm up for a minute and hang out with us. Tweedledee at 25 as we hit the 1 minute mark on the little Oldsmobile cap. That's right. Bill says take a shot of vodka. That'll warm things up. And a minute 20 has passed. We're coming up on the minute 30 mark. That's an Oldsmobile logo. It's just one they used in the 40s and early 50s that is just something kind of different. A minute 30 has passed. We're at the minute 30 mark. If you're thinking about jumping in on this one, we've got Tweedledee at 25. Like I said, this stuff was red originally up in this area. That was a goldish yellow. Tweedledee at 25 with 15 seconds left to go. 10. Zach at 31. And that does it. Zach at 31 slid that one in right there at the end. At about 158, you hit that one pretty much dead on. All right, we'll keep rolling right with her caps and get this next one. This is a Plymouth cap. I don't know what year this is. Early 40s, I think. I'm just guessing. The chrome is not as shiny on this one. We can definitely see the outline of the ship in it. It is different from some of the late 40s ones that we've looked at on here. That's why I'm guessing that this one is probably early 40s. It is also right at 10 inches across. I don't know if maybe this background should have been painted originally, maybe a red or something. That was fairly common for Plymouth back in that day. But like I said, and then maybe even late 30s, but I'm going to guess 39, 40, 41, something like that on this little Plymouth cap out of Addie's collection. I don't know if this was, it's almost too uniform for this to not be so shiny. That's right, you don't need sunglasses. Eric at 15 is kicking us off. And I almost thought it was maybe like from sandblasting, but it's extremely uniform, and the in center is super shiny. So I have no idea if it was supposed to be that way or if this was painted for years and it protected it better. I have no idea. But you've definitely got the ship in there, which is the important part of having a Plymouth cap. Once again, Plymouth's been gone for over 20 years now. A lot of people don't even remember it, much less having the ship right in there with us. Let's go ahead and get this on the timer. I've got Eric at 15 on the Plymouth cap. I've got Eric at 15. We're working towards 1 minute. Plymouths were the cars you could afford when you couldn't afford a car. That's a good way to put it, number one. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering if it was like a satin finish, because it's so uniform that I couldn't see, what 1 minute has passed. We were hit the 1 minute mark. It's so uniform on the wear that it would be awful odd that it was worn exactly like that. Any IHC trucks, depends. I've got a ton of internationals, Colt. It just depends on what you need. Salty roads, maybe. I don't know. But what I don't understand is why the center is so shiny. That's what's weird about it. 120 has now passed. Eric been sitting there at 15, so we'll see what's going to happen with this one. A minute 30 has passed. We're coming down to the wire. 20 seconds. 10. Zach at 21, Jason at 18, and Zach at 21 is who we had at the end. So we got Zach on that one also, and Eric came back at 22, just about 2 seconds too late. No, Plymouth actually was below Dodge. It was Plymouth, Dodge, DeSoto, Chrysler, and Imperial, I think, was the pecking order. But no, Plymouth was equivalent to Chevy, kind of the bottom of the barrel. Alan, cap looks like same as a 40. Could be more than just – that's what I was thinking. That's why I was thinking it was that era. So you're thinking right along the same lines as me. But that'll do it. We got one more. We got the Ford cap yet. Let's get Addie's Ford cap. And then we're going to get into some more cool stuff. This is a stainless cap. I think it's 40s as well. On a Ford Deluxe. Good usable carbs for SSS. I'm not even sure what you're talking about on that, Colt. Just have to give me a shout tomorrow. I would make whatever you need. I would probably have core carbs, but I wouldn't have anything you could bolt on for whatever it is, because I've got 60 or 70 internationals, and they've all been sitting for a long time. X-Ray starting us off at 15. This is a stainless cap. The the lettering is embossed. We can even see it on the back where it's, you can see it stamped in. All stainless cap, few tings and dents, would polish up a little bit. I think the letters were probably originally painted on this one as well. Let's go ahead and give you the dimensions on it. It's about 9.5. Alex at 22. It's about 9.5 here. Ozark says 40, I think, and you could be right. Alex at 22. Let's get this thing on the timer so we keep moving. Pretty good looking cap. Nice and shiny. I'd repaint the Ford in it, maybe make it really pop. You put some red in there. I think it would really pop when you hang that on the wall. So, and let me be thinking about what we got to do next. Alex at 22. What else we got to do yet today? All right, I got the rest of it laid out. It is a 40 cap, says Alan. They would be painted red. So, Alex at 22. 1 minute has now passed. Kenny at 23. We hit the minute 20 mark. Alex at 30 as we hit the minute 30 mark. Alex at 30. Jason's getting thirsty. We better give you guys one of those. I'm sorry about that, guys. Alex at 30. As we got 20 seconds left to go, I've got Alex at 30. 15. 10. Kenny at 31. And that does it. Kenny at 31. Mark said he's just seeing a slight delay right now. That's understandable. Okay. I've got the rest. I got 6 more things laid out, and it is some cool stuff. So let's get ready to do some super cool stuff. Anybody still want to do the valve cover? I've got the valve cover laying here. Some more emblems, another license plate, and this is probably the coolest run we've had in a while of good stuff. So, get ready, guys, and let's have some fun with it. So, you guys said something about doing the valve cover. Do we still want to do the valve cover? We want to do it later. There's the Hudson badge and badges, including some more early badges and another early license plate. So, that's what I'm thinking. What do you guys think? Is that what we want to do? So let's go ahead and keep moving. Big Job says that all sounds groovy to him. Bill Disc says sounds good to him. Everybody's ready to go. So let's do some emblems, and then we're going to do a valve cover. Then we're going to do some more emblems, and then a license plate. So where's the Olds badge? The Olds badge is, where did I even put it? I put it over here. You guys want to drink to that too? We'll hold the Olds badge. You can drink to it. The next badge bundle is going to be a Chevrolet-related bundle. Starting off with a Malibu, 70s era Malibu. It is an all-metal badge. It is 3 3/8 by about an inch. It is flat. It is stud mount on the little Malibu. Now, to mix this badge bundle up a little bit, we're going to throw in a Corvair. A pretty nice little Corvair. It's tweaked a little bit, and it's missing a stud, but nice, bright, shiny chrome on the Corvair 500, something a little bit different that we don't see all the time. We haven't done many Corvair badges on here, so we're going to mix this one in, and it is 6 7/8. Ozark Fox drinks the heather. So this is 6 7/8 on the Corvair 500. So we've got the Corvair 500, we've got the Malibu, and we've got a Nova front hood badge. This is off of a 70 Nova. This is the bow tie right off the front edge of the hood. This is a little bit bigger. It is V'd a little bit to fit the hood, but it's also a little bit bigger, so it's more noticeable. It is 9 1/4 across here. Repaint the blue in that thing, and it would look super cool. So that's the 3 badges on this Chevy badge bundle. Jason starting us off at 15. The Corvaire's kind of cool, something you don't see very often. Not the most popular thing out there, but kind of different. So kind of intermediate badges. Nova, Malibu, and Corvair. Jason at 15. Let's go ahead and get this thing live on the timer, and I'm going to make my notes. All right. Let's see. Ooh, man, this stuff is cool. I got good stuff coming up next. We'll do the valve cover next, and then we'll get into these other badges because these next three badges are probably the best three we've seen in a while. Plus, this plate's cool, too. It's an earlier plate, so we haven't done any earlier plates in a while. So we got some great stuff coming up. We're gonna end with a bang tonight, I think. As we hit the 1 minute mark, 1 minute has now passed. Jason at 15 on the little Chevy badge bundle for the intermediate Chevrolets. Any thoughts on did Ralph Nader really ruin the Corvair? Well, he sure didn't help it any. He gave it a bad name, and actually there were issues. There were some handling issues with the first few years of Corvairs. A minute 20 has now passed, but they did sort all that stuff out. But by the time they got the problem sorted out, it was already just pretty much destroyed. A minute 30 has passed. We're towards the end of this. 1 minute 30 seconds has gone. Jason at 15. So 20 seconds left. 15. 10. Mark at 16. Zach at 22. Jason at 25. And that does it. Jason at 25. Pete was at 26, but he was a second too late. Jason at 25 is who we had at the 2 minute mark. I really want to start stretching some of these to 210 because it's costing me $5 or $10 on a bunch of these, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So tape them all back together to make sure we get them all to Jason. And let's do the valve cover. Like I said, oh, look, I found an Auburn badge. How about that? We did the other one a few months ago. We're going to sell this one off right now on the iconic, completely recognizable statement piece of the 348-409 W-headed valve cover. So this one has actually had a repair right here. So these little holes there, it had a repair. When you look on the back side, you can see where it's had a little bit of repair, but who cares? Paint this thing orange, hang it on the wall so all your buddies can stare at it and be jealous. Has the original plug wire loom still on it. Backside is clean. It was bead blasted. Looks like the bead blasted it. And then it's just put the front primer. Eric's kicking us off at 25 right out of the gate. Let me give you the dimensions on these things if you're not sure. I love valve covers. I know we beat on valve covers a lot around here. I think valve covers are the undersung, understated decorator piece in the automobilia world. I mean, look at this thing. 348-409, obviously, completely iconic. The bow tie is stamped in it. You scuff this thing up. You put some, and there you go. Pete said he got the other one. He painted it orange, and it looks awesome. And everybody's going to know what this is when they walk in your garage. Say, holy crap, where'd you get that thing at? Because they are super, super cool. Bill says that's the right side valve cover, probably based on the plug wire loom. So, cool piece. Let me give you the sizes on this just in case it matters based on where somebody may or may not want to put it. It is 21.5 inches long by about 7.25. So, about 21.5 inches long by about 7.25 here, just so you guys know in case you are worried about where you may or may not want to put it. We're going to give you an Auburn badge. It's a super cool piece. Like I said, Pete's got his hung up, which was the mate to this one. Eric at 25 is our high bidder. Let's get this thing live on the timer. Like I said, we've got some great stuff coming up to wrap up tonight. This is just the beginning of it. So we are live. Eric at 25. Absolute iconic piece. You can't miss them. I've got them, so I'm going to let this one go. Like Kenny got the other one. So, no, Pete got the other one. Excuse me. I got the names mixed up on my screen over here. So, we are live. We are ticking along. Eric at 25. We'll see how interesting this one gets here towards the end. This other stuff may get pretty interesting too. And 1 minute has now passed. We're on the back side of this thing. There you go, number one. Paint your name on it. Paint it blue, put a Ford sticker on it, be ready to fight. That'd make all your buddies mad, especially if your buddies are Chevy guys. Bill's got a set of chrome ones. As we're coming up on the minute 30 mark, 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. Eric at 25. Eric still sitting there at 25 with 20 seconds left. Mark at 26. 15. Jeff Taylor at 27. 10. Eric at 30. Zach at 36. Jason at 37. And that does it. Jason at 37. Zach came back at 41, but it was a hair too late. Jason at 37 is who we had at the end. Holy cow, they got ugly at the end. Another one I wish I could have stretched out about another 20 seconds. All right, guys. Well, I hope you got your skills down because these last 4 pieces are super, super cool. At least I think so. I could be wrong, but 3 badges and a license plate. We'll start off with the 3839 Ford. This is off a Ford truck off the side hood panel for a 95 horse flathead. Now, this one has some wear to it. These were chrome. We can see on the backside it had chrome, but this thing has such an awesome patinaed look to it. It is super cool. I mean, it's art in and of itself. The Ford script, the 95 horse. These actually had 2 little studs that went through them that screwed them to the side of the hood, which are missing. David W. is like, it's Jeff Taylor's already at 25 on us. 5 5/8 by 3 3/8. 5 5/8, 3 3/8. So it is big enough you can see it. You hold it up against the palm of your hand, kind of gives you an idea. Belt buckle, yeah, that's right. But it is very clear. Other than the chrome is peel off, it's not beat, it's not smashed. Bill, this got an 85 horse one a while back. Yeah, we've sold 1 or 2 of these. I've got a few in my collection, so I'm selling off a few of these extras. You know, this, I almost kept this just because of the patinaed wear is so cool on it. Because I still have some that have chrome on them. But I was like, some of you guys dig this stuff as much as I do, so we're going to throw this one out there. Jeff starts at 25, Mark at 28. That was the big motor. That's right. The other one was an 85 horse. Let's get this thing live on the timer, and I'm going to make my notes. Jeff Taylor at 30, Mark at 33. It does have a slight bevel to it. Jeff Taylor at 35. Mike's got to jump off. Glad you made it. As we are coming up on the 1 minute mark, Jeff at 35 is my high bidder as we hit the 1 minute mark. A minute 20 has now passed. Jeff Taylor at 35. A minute 30 has passed. We're coming down to the end on this one. If you're going to jump in, now's the time to be thinking about it. Jeff at 35, excuse me. Alex at 40. 20 seconds left to go. Alex at 40. Jeff Taylor at 45. 15 seconds left. 10. Kenny at 52. Zach at 46, but I've got Kenny at 52. We're coming down to the wire on this thing. Kenny at 52. Eric at 60, and that does it. At Eric at 60, Jeff Taylor both right at the 159 2-minute mark as it hit 2 minutes, but Eric had him covered with the 60. So, there again, we're having a lot of fun. Like I said, don't worry, guys. We still got a couple more super cool badges to go yet tonight. Like I said, I saved some pretty cool stuff here for the end. We're going to do a license plate. Then we're going to do 2 more badges. This license plate is super cool, too, and it's got an awesome look to it. Same thing with this Hudson badge. This license plate is a Kansas 1934 truck. Yeah, that's right, Tim. We're having a lot of fun tonight with the shootouts, and yeah, it's true. I mean, I was about ready to pull my hair out last week because nothing was working. When we got done trying to do auctions, I was exhausted. We're having fun tonight, and that's what makes it count. So Santa Claus going to be broke after tonight. That's right. Crazy sniping tonight. That's true. Best action I've seen, and that's what makes it fun, guys. And we're going to roll right into this 1934 Kansas truck plate. Got the T on it for Truck County. It was 41, which I don't know what that was. 3-digit 177. Great patinaed look to it. It looks like it was kind of a beige tag originally with black lettering. So I'm going to guess this beige color was the original color for this 34 truck plate. KAN 34 T41 177. This is the longer, narrower plate. Jeff is kicking us off at 10. Alec is at 30. Alec at 30, it is 14 and a half. These are the longer ones. Alec at Facebook at 30, 14 and a half on this one. So these are the longer, narrower ones by 4 3/8. Mark at 35 on this one. Like I said, it's got some surface rust, but still displays great. No rust out, no serious dents or damage. Just a nice looking patina plate that is, 88 years old now. Holy cow. Mark at 35 is my high bidder as of right now. Jeff Taylor at 36. Let's get this thing on the timer. Jeff Taylor at 36 is my high bidder. And we are live. We are boogieing. Jeff Taylor at 36 is my high bidder. Whole bunch right out of the gate, and then everything kind of calmed back down. Well, like I said, but that's what's been fun tonight. It's been some great shootouts. Just remember, for something you really want, you may need to throw that extra couple bucks on there. That's what happened for Eric on that last one. There was 2 bids that came in almost at the exact same time, but he threw a few extra bucks on there. He covered the other one. So Jeff Taylor at 36. As we come up on the 1 minute mark on this super cool 34 plate. 1 minute has now passed. Alex at 40. As we're ticking along, coming up on the 120 mark. Alex at 40 as we hit the 120 mark. I'll tell you when we get to 130. Alex at 40 as we hit the minute and 30 mark. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. We're coming out of the wire. There's been a lot of action on this thing already. We'll see what happens here in the next 30 seconds. Actually, as we tick along, we're down to 20 seconds. Mark Falcon at 42. 15. 10. Kenny at 55. David W. at 58. And that does it. David W. at 58. And I had Alec over here at the exact same time, but it was at 45. David W. at 58. So that one did get pretty interesting there at the end, but it worked out. But yeah, I had Alec and David at the same time. Alec at 45, David at 58. So that's right. Pew pew, and that was it. It was over. They were both dead on their times. There's no doubt about that. Okay, I got two more things, and they're both great. These next two pieces are both winners. There's no doubt about it. We haven't done anything from Auburn Court Duesenberg in a week or two. Yes, there's an Alex on YouTube, and then Alec over here. And I'm sure when you guys hear me say that, I'm pronouncing it as Alec and Alex, but I bet it sounds the same to you. But yes, we've got Alex on YouTube, and we've got Alec over here. So we like winners and Auburn badges. That's right. So we have Alec and Alex. So and I hadn't thought about that. I'm reading them differently. So there is some confusion there. I apologize for that, guys. I should have caught that and notified you. But like I said, we haven't done anything from Auburn Court Duesenberg yet. I don't have a lot of stuff left from there, but I do still have a few pieces that we are going to sell. So, and we'll do one right now. And it's cool. I got two of these. I'm going to sell this one. It's the only one I got. It's rough. It's original. It's used. It's banged up a little bit. It is a center, just the center ornament off of a knockoff. The center ornament off of an actual knockoff for the wheel, where they literally had to beat the center to spin the knockoff off, a true knockoff. This is the center badge out of one for a 12-cylinder Auburn. Yep. Yeah. Like I said, I've got a few. This one has been repainted, and it's got dings and dents and nicks in it, if you guys can see, I'm sure. Eric at 55 right out of the gate. He's not messing around. You can see where it's been, it's kind of chipped out where it was mounted. You can see the dings, the dents on this thing. And it has been repainted. Somebody did paint this black on it. But it's an original knockoff badge for a 12-cylinder Auburn. So, yeah. It is 3 inches. 3 inches in diameter. I think it's aluminum. Not much to it, but the content is phenomenal, to say the least. Eric at 55, Jeff Taylor at 60. Let's get it on the timer and boogie with it. Alec at 65 on YouTube, on Facebook, excuse me. That's what she said. That's right. It's magnificent. Alec at 65 on Facebook. So like I said, it's just kind of a rough old banged up piece, but the content is just, I don't think it gets much better. Alec at 65. As we tick along, and everybody just got quiet. As we hit the 1 minute mark on this one, I bet it's going to be an interesting minute. What do you guys think? I'm betting it's going to be an interesting minute coming up. I've got Alec at 65. And there's the minute 20 mark. I'll even hold it up to give you the minute 30 on this one as we get there. And there she is. There's the minute 30 mark. If you want to get in on this, now's the time. Jeff Taylor at 70. Eric at 75. Eric at 75. 20 seconds left to go. 15. 10. And that does it. Eric at 75. It held. Eric at 75. All right, one more. I told you both these badges coming up were cool. This doesn't quite have the wow factor of the Auburn, but it is a beautiful, beautiful piece. It does have some chipping in it. We're going to get back to our enamel badges and do one more badge tonight in tonight's auction before we get into the magazine. This is a super cool, great color, brilliant blue and white, early teens era, probably enamel Buick. I love these things. I love these Buick badges. This one does have some chipping we see in the blue here and a little bit in the white on the C. This is a smaller one. There are like 3 different sizes of these. This is the smaller version. I'm going to give you a size on this one as well. It is about 1 3/4 inches. Randy at 20, Jason at 30, Alec at 40. So Eric's like, dang it. Alec at 40. 1 3/4 inches, 1 3/8. 1 3/4 inches, counting the tips here, 1 3/8. It is a push button mount like a lot of these were, where they just press them on. Back's nice. It is flat. That's right, David W. That's another thing. It is amazing. Alex at 60. Alex on YouTube at 60. Need to clarify that. But it is a beautiful piece. I love these things. And I've got a handful of them rat hold. That's why I'm going to sell this one, because I think I've got 5 or 6 of these, and I don't want to sell anymore. I'm just because I love these things so much. Obviously, I grew up on Buicks, so I love these enamel Buick badges. Zach at 61. Let's go and get this thing on the timer so we can get this wrapped up and get to the magazine. Told you we had cool stuff coming up, guys. Alex on YouTube at 75. This is the real deal, guys. It is a little bit smaller than some of the other sizes, but this is the real deal. It's right around 100 years old, so that's right. Some of these kids can plug those giant holes in their ears with the Buick badge. Yeah, never thought of it that way. Number one, you do kind of raise a valid point. Alex at 75 on YouTube. As we come up on the 1 minute mark, yes, it escalated very rapidly. I told you guys I had some cool stuff to wrap up with. I hope I didn't disappoint you. So it's not the size, and that's just all Zach can come up with. A minute 20 has now passed. Coming up on the minute 30 mark. 1 minute, 30 seconds has now passed. Alex on YouTube at 75. That's right, Elo. I know you love the Buicks as well. Alex on YouTube at 75 on the super cool little beautiful Buick badge with 20 seconds left to go. 15. Alex on YouTube at 75. 10. Eric at 80. Kenny at 96. And that does it. Kenny at 96. I had Alec over here at 78. Eric at 80. I had Kenny at 96. Eric came back at 97, but it was way too late. Kenny at 96. All right. Whew. Those last ones were fun. But that's why we do it. It does help when I do, the time and the effort I put in this. It does help it financially. But this tonight was what it was for. As bad as last week was. Yes, right, Pure Pontiac. Let's badge up. Let's give you both of them. Let's give everybody a big round of applause. And congratulations to all of our winners. X-Ray's back. We had a lot of fun tonight. For as aggravating as last Sunday night was, we made up for it tonight. Everybody had a lot of fun, and I'm glad we enjoyed it. We had some cool stuff. We're going to have some more cool stuff coming up as well. Addie and I started sorting through some more stuff today. And so we're going to have more cool stuff that we've got laying around that is going to be available that we're going to be working into the auctions. But I feel a little bit better about tonight that things actually worked. So Zach says, let's keep going. If we keep going, we're not going to get to the magazine and anything else. So Eric says it's more fun sniping than winning. Yeah, that's right, Mark. Last week did suck, but tonight was a blast. I mean, I was so frustrated when we got done last week. I was beat up and wore out just from trying to fight the system and things not working. So she's doing well. She's doing well in college. She's back. So we're going to do some work around the shop, and we already started going through some stuff today. And obviously we had most of this stuff done. We got all this stuff ready, and I said, okay, we just start sorting through some of this other stuff. And we've already got some pretty cool stuff dug out. We're going to start incorporating into the auctions from here on out. So Zach says, magazine or more auctions? He wants to take a vote. I got more junk here. I mean, I do still have more stuff here, but that's up to you guys. We can do a couple more if you want to do a couple more. That's up to you. I got plenty of stuff. We don't want to do it all tonight. Kenny says more. Big Job says more. Holy cow, you guys want more. All right. Let's see. What do we got here? Does anyone want to do like a bigger, heavier piece that's kind of a statement piece? Magazine trivia, and then next Sunday. Well, since everybody wants more auctions, we'll do 2 or 3 more. But we'll do 2 or 3 more auctions, then we'll get to the magazine, because I don't want to alienate the guys that are waiting on the magazine. Zach says, sorry, not sorry. We did finish with a bang. There's no kid about that, Alec. That's why we'll just do a couple more, and then we'll go ahead and get into the magazine. How about something bigger? Bigger, but it's going to take, because of what it's going to take to ship it, it's going to be kind of heavy. But it's kind of bigger and kind of heavier. I'll show it to you guys. It's been laying here. I'll see if you guys are interested in it. It's kind of cool. Big number 1 says something large and dynamic. Well, it is a little bit larger than what we're used to. And then we'll do 1 or 2 more things, and then we'll get moving. But Gray Kitty, yeah, you wake up, we can sell her. This piece is 18 inches long. No, we don't have a 57 T-bird to do. And it stands about 5.5 inches tall. It's going to take, it thing's heavy, so it's going to cost some, it's going to cost a little bit of money to ship it. So it's going to have to bring like $100, $110 just to cover the piece and the shipping. But I'll show it to you and see what you guys think. How about that? What do you guys think of that? Anybody like that? This thing weighs a freaking ton. This thing weighs 4 or 5 pounds probably. Anybody interested in this? It's got a few pits. I think it's like a 52. 409 head. I don't have any 409 heads. But this thing is so freaking heavy. It's cool. What I would do with this for a display piece, it's got this little deal in the back that's sticking out, but it's got a couple of screws. I think you could take these screws out, and then, then I think it would be pretty much, I mean, it's got a bow to it for when it went on the trunk, but it would be somewhat flat. Crosley's are easy to pack. Yeah. Aftermath White likes it. Alex says, wowza, it's cool. I mean, it is like a freaking UFO coming at you like that. That's right. Start at $99. That's a good idea, number one. Start at $99 is where it should start at. It's a very poor stocking stuffer. Number one says it'd be a good stocking stuffer, but it would go all the way through the stocking. If the stocking would hold it, you would have to have it anchored to a stud. Mark's going to throw the 100 out there and get us rolling. What the heck? Let's sell it. We're having fun. You want to sell it? Here we go. Let's throw it on the timer. Let's sell it. Mark started us at 100. So it does have the tag light in it, and it's got a little lever here, too. Jason, this is awesome, but he's broke. Zach's at 101. We are live on the timer. I love the way it's angled out here. I mean, it literally looks like it's... No, I do not have the key for it. Good question. I do not have the key. It's like... Mark is at 110. That's right. Put an LED in the tag light. That'd be a great idea, David. And 1 minute has passed. Alex at 150. Alex on YouTube at 150. I hope I can hold it for another minute. Stand up and move back so the glare doesn't blind the whole item. This thing's so shiny, it's hard to not get a glare on it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's the best way to do it. I'm trying, number one. I'm trying to keep it where it doesn't blind everybody. A minute 30 has passed. Alex on YouTube at 150. Just like that, says number one. I got to re-brace it. Here we go. I'm going to rest it on my shoulder. 20 seconds left to go. Throw it up on my shoulder. How's that? Yes, it's on the trunk. Student Baker, 10 seconds left to go. Alex on YouTube at 150. And that does it. Holy cow. Alex on YouTube at 150. Whew, I'm glad I can put it down. Yeah, I think it would have held the trunk down, that's for sure. Whew. Ugh. Ugh. All right, we do one more little thing or should we move on? Everybody wanted to do more? More. We'll do one more super cool piece. This thing is awesome. I love this, but we've already got it, so I'm going to sell it. It's a great piece. It is definitely something different. This will be the last one, and then we're going to get to the magazine because the guys that want to see the magazine, I don't want to completely ignore them as well. But remember the little aluminum hubcaps we've done a few of over the time? This thing is so great. I've got another one of those. These are technically they're a grease cap. Cars from the early 20s era that had the aluminum grease cap with the symbols on them. We'll do this one, and then we're going to move on to the magazine. But this is a cool piece. You guys are having fun with the cool pieces tonight. So let's check this out. Willie's Night. 20s era probably. The W with the K, the Willie's Night. This even appears to have some original paint still in it. It's thin and scratched. That's what Kenny's at 25. This thing is not clobbered. It's not beat up. Mark at 50. Zach says, ooh, I need that one. It's a great piece. It really is. Addie and I have some of these. I think we've got two of them, but I think one of them is dented. I think we've got one good one and one dented one. And then I came up with this one. Mark at 50. Let me give you some dimensions on this thing. That is a heck of a belt buckle, that's for sure. 3 3/4 across the back. 3 3/4 all overall diameter. You can see the WK embossed in the back of this thing. Really is in pretty decent shape. You can still see the threads inside of it if we get the angle right. You can see the threads in the Alec at 55 on Facebook. Old and rare, that's right. Alec on Facebook at 55, 3 1/4 on the tips of the hex on there. So it's in great shape. It looks amazing. Alec at 55, Mark at 60. Let's get this thing on the timer and get moving. With Mark at 60, and we are live on this thing. We're going to get to the magazine next. This is another one that might get interesting. We had 4 bids right out of the gate. Boom, 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 boom. And crickets. Crickets. We're going to see what happens. Then we're going to get the magazine. Promise you guys, I'm not going to hold you up too long. I know you guys, some of you guys want to get the magazines. This has been a blast tonight, finally. Kenny at 75. As we hit the 1 minute mark, I've got Kenny at 75. We'll see how interesting this minute gets. Sniper alert, Big Job says. So does X-Ray. Kenny at 75 as we hit the minute 20 mark. And there she is. There's the minute 30. It's time to the wire. It's time to be thinking about your max bid. I've got Kenny sitting here at 75 as the high bidder. We are ticking down. By the time you see this, we're probably about done. Kenny at 75, 20 seconds left to go. Eric at 90. 10 seconds. Eric at 90. And that did it. Eric at 90. Big Job threw a duck out there. Kenny came back at 110, but it was definitely too late at that one, unfortunately. Alec at 80 over here. Eric had that covered at 90. Kenny at 110. It was too late. Eric at 90. All right, guys, that was a ton of fun. Thanks for playing. Had a blast. And like I said, some of you guys were making comments. You already blew most of your budget for the night. So that's all right. You can save up for next week. We'll have more cool stuff next week. That's right. And this is about you guys as much as it is about me. If you guys want, you say you want a few more auctions, I've got no problem doing that. I just want to be fair to the guys that want to get to the magazine as well. So that's all I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to be fair with everybody, and I think you guys understand that, which I super appreciate. So I don't want to just completely ignore the guys that want to keep moving, but if there's a lot of, when we have a lot of demand for more auctions, we'll squeeze a few more in, and we had a lot of fun with it. We're going to give you some more of these badges. Like I said, we got some more cool stuff. Addie and I have already found some cool stuff that we're getting ready that we'll be start working in now. Plus, we've still got we put a dent in the auction box tonight. There's still 4 or 5 pieces in this box. There's still, that's right, we need more money for nitrous. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's still about 7 pieces in there. That was one of the best. That was some great auction action. That was a lot of fun tonight. And there's still some miscellaneous cheaper cans in there. So Kevin's got to bail off. Let's get into tonight's magazine. Grab bags next week, Alex. That is what we're going to try to do. I'm going to try to do. I've got a couple of different ideas, actually. We've already found some cool stuff. We're just getting started. Yes, I do. I'm thinking about how I'm going to do that. We're going to do some extra drawings next week for Christmas for sure. And I'm thinking about how I want to do it. I've got a box, and I know some of you have seen them, and I've got still got like a box of these boxes because they're eBay boxes. A few years ago, eBay would give you credit like every quarter to order boxes. They took all that away from you. But if you did enough volume, they would give you a credit to order like $50 worth of boxes a month. So I've got these boxes. They're 12 inches. I think they're like 12 by like 8 by 6. And I know I use them for license plates because the license plates fit in them. I'm thinking about doing a couple of those boxes that because they would all be the same box. They'd all be uniform. And I know I could put a license plate in each one. And I know I could put a can in each one and then some other miscellaneous little stuff with it. So yes, I've got this in my brain of what I want to build next week. We'll probably auction a few. We'll probably give one or two away as drawings out of the can for extra raffles for next Sunday because it is Christmas. So anyway, Auburn Badge Magazine, back to the popular hot rodding from October 1964. We did the first half of this last week. We're going to catch the second half of it this week. So we're going to start at page 54 this time. Cover price of 50 cents on this one in October of 1964. Kenny says sounds like a plan. So that's what I'm thinking. We'll see what I get put together, but that's what I'm thinking. Give one or two away, sell a couple of them, and have some fun with it. But I know I can put a license plate and a can, a regular quart and a license plate, and have room to pack in some other stuff. So put 4, 5, 6 things in each box and just put numbers on them. And then after I do that, I'm going to mix them all up. So I don't even know what's in them. Won't even know which one's which. They all look exactly the same. They all say eBay on them. So I can lay the stuff out, box it up, tumble them all around, and then write 1, 2, 3, whatever we need to do, whatever we do on them. And I won't even know what's in them anymore. So it'll be fun. But let's cut to the middle of the magazine, starting off at page 54. Wheel and altered. It takes power to put the front wheels of a 34 Ford into the air, and power of plenty is found under the hood of the little Screamer 2. Running in B altered in 1964. This little 34 Ford was running an injected small block Chevy. But you got to remember, this was 1964. Check out the action shots of this little coupe launching. There again, in today's world, we can take this, we can grab our phone and snap pictures, do video, all that stuff right here on our phone and come out with shots cooler than this. This was a pretty big deal to get this series of shots in 1964. Elo remembers the magazine. He likes it. Pete had a lot of fun tonight. I think we've all had a lot of fun tonight. So pretty cool little altered on this small block Chevy powered 34 Ford. We actually do have a shot of the injected small block on the next page, as well as a few other shots of this car. Not a ton of room in this thing, that's for sure. By the time you figure the engine set back in it, there we see our injected small block, and we can kind of see how it's sitting back in the firewall. Then we see the cockpit. So our engine is right here. You ain't got a lot of room in that thing to be doing what you need to be doing in there. Pete's in love with it, so. But there again, that's what's so great about going back in time and checking these out. Zach said his internet crapped out right after the auction, so well, that worked out okay. The next article is about a guy by the name of Gene Adams. Gene speaks out, mentioned Oldsmobile, and Gene Adams smiles. He's now a fervent Hemi Chrysler advocate. Angle-cammed example of Gene's Hemi work has traveled quarter mile in excess of 198 miles an hour. So this is a pretty cool article about engine builder Gene Adams, who formerly ran Oldsmobile Power and switching to Hemis. Now, we can see in these great front engine digger pictures, obviously we see a blown Oldsmobile in this shot, but this talks about how he used to run Oldsmobiles and was in the process of switching to Hemis. You got to remember, this is October of 1964. The Gen 1 Hemi was done. The second Gen Hemi was just coming out. October of 64, they had 6 months on them. They won Daytona. They swept Daytona in 64. So this was brand new technology for 1964 as Gene Adams speaks out about switching to the Chrysler Hemi Power. And we see some great shots of these Hemi-powered front-engine diggers on the next couple of pages. The next several pages, this is kind of interesting, and there's no way to take the time to get into every one of these. This is a gallery of great cars. There's a car per page for the next several pages. So I'm going to give you the quick synopsis and then hold them up for a minute and let you check them out. Imported from Indiana, a 29A Roadster on a 32 Ford frame, packing a 327 Chevy with 6 2-barrels. On the first page, 44 dash in it. Just I can tell that from the picture. It doesn't say anything about it. I just looked down and noticed that a 44 dash in it. The second page, a California Classic, a 32 Ford Roadster, powered by a 303 Rocket Oldsmobile. On the first 2 pages of Gallery of Great Cars, like I said, we could study every detail on every one of these cars, but I'd much rather hit the high points and let you guys check them out and experience them because they are so great for that time. That's right, Randy. And now, 60 years later, everything is Hemi. No matter what it is. If it's running nitro, it's Hemi. Same thing with Top Alcohol. You know, it's all Hemi platform. But we kind of need to keep moving in this gallery of cars, and I don't want to get through them too quick, but there's like 6 or 8 pages of this. The next one, the Lone Star Stovebolt, a 39 Chevy, 5-window coupe. However, it's no longer powered by a Stovebolt because I see a small block Chevy topped with, I think it's 3 deuces on it. It says it's a 58 283. Yep, 3 deuces on a 58 283 in this 39 Chevy coupe. The next one, the Northwest Nifty, a 36 Ford coupe. And it is packing, it looks like a Y block. Let's see what it says. Yep, the picture looked like a Y block. It is a 56 Thunderbird 312, also packing 3 deuces, backed up by a 39 Ford transmission. So there again, now you can see why this stuff is so cool. The next car's in the gallery of greats, the Canadian Surprise, a 28 Model A pickup. The engine is a 57 Mopar power plant bolted up to a 50 Plymouth transmission, so that's kind of a different deal. Model A pickup, packing Mopar power. The next one, a Jersey Vet, and it's easy to see what this one's powered by. Mark is a fan of the Stovebolt. Glad I don't have to adjust those carbs. Yeah, that's true. I wish they still made those old magazines. I miss them a lot. Randy says they're cool hot rods. Pete loves the rake. That's what's so great about doing this stuff, though. The Jersey Vet, it's easy to see how it's been modified. It's a 60 Vet, and we don't, even though it says it in the title, we don't even need the title when we look at the valve covers and what's hiding inside that 60 Vet. Yep, the big old W-headed valve covers. Just like that one. Only that being a dual quad 409, they are chrome plated, but still super cool pieces. Zach's got to jump off. He's got to get stuff ready for Christmas party tomorrow. No problem. Glad you hung out with us for a while tonight, Zach. Yeah, no problem. Just give me a shout tomorrow, Zach, and we'll get her tallied up. Because I probably won't break it all down yet tonight anyway. So whenever you get time, just let me know. One more article, and then we're going to get into the ads. Gary Kohler and Jim Cavallaro have an effective way to promote their engine building talents to Detroit area rodders. A B-Comp coupe. This thing is tiny. It's a 39 Bantam body. This thing tips the scales at 1,640 pounds dry, runs 10s, unblown with an injected small block. So, neat little deal. Obviously, these guys are engine builders. They built this as a promotional package for their company, Dynamic Engine Service in Michigan. Check that little thing out. Ain't much to it. Obviously, we see the injected small block. What is it? 1,640 pounds dry and runs 10s. So we can see the injected small block down here. We see the tiny little body. Let's see if we can get a good look at get a good look at the cockpit. Not much to it. Yep, shoehorn would come in handy, that's for sure, Bill. I think that's kind of one of those safety third cockpits. Oh, check this out. That cockpit is so tiny. Look up here. It's so tiny. Look at the gas pedal. It's literally clear over here in the corner. So literally kind of a safety third type operation. The guys obviously could build an engine that would scream, yeah, and only tens. But there again, you got to remember this is 1964 technology on a just strictly an injected small block Chevy. Actually, believe it or not, I was just curious what it said. It was a 265. They started with a 265 and they're running 10s. So yeah, that's probably about all you can squeeze out of a 265. So they punched it to 270, but they started with a 265, 56 Corvette heads, 202 valves. So yeah, 10s with a 265 ain't too shabby. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be over 5.5 feet tall, that's for sure. Yeah, one purpose, fast, that's for sure. It does not have a horsepower rating, I don't think. I'm skimming it, but I don't see an actual horsepower rating on this. They probably didn't want it necessarily, advertised too much. But it does say that. Okay, remember it's a 265 punched to a 270. Ken, those guys became Diamond Racing engines, which now makes pistons, and they're still in Detroit. That's super cool. Thanks, Ken. Thanks for throwing it out there. That's actually pretty cool that we now know, almost 60 years later, that this company is still in business. It became Diamond Racing Engines from the Dynamic Engine Service, from the guys that built this little B Coupe in 64 running a 265 Chevy. So, but that's what's so great about this, and that's why this is a chat. It's not me sitting here talking. It is me talking most of the time, but there again, Kenneth just threw in a whole nother aspect of this little B Coupe that we're just sitting here talking about almost 60 years later. Thanks for that, Ken. I appreciate you throwing that in. That's what's so great about this chat, is all this knowledge that we can all share. But one thing it did say, they spin this thing to 9. 265 punched out to 270. They spin her to $9,000. So yeah, she is screaming. That's crazy. So spinning her to $9,000 and putting her into the 10s. But that kind of does it for the articles. Let's get into some ads. I kind of want to keep moving. Obviously, we ate up a lot of time with the auctions, but it's yeah, that's right. And then the balancer went flying. Yep, that's another good point in throwing sparks. But let's get into the ads. And since we're towards the back of the magazine, we get into some of these smaller, not full-page ads, but we still like checking them out. And an ad from a company we've seen in several magazines from this area, the Almquist Engineering Company from Milford, Pennsylvania. The new Speed and Custom book gives you the lowdown on the lowest prices on everything for your car. It's free. Mail the coupon today for the new Almquist Engineering Speed and Custom book. Now, the next ad we're going to check out, we're actually going to get into this a little bit more. I don't know if Randy's still, Randy, I think Randy's still on with us. Because we got a surprise coming up for you guys. The raffle next month, you guys are going to flip. You're going to flip out. It's going to be special, one-off, nobody's stuff. But the next ad we're going to check out is super cool. And it's really wild, actually. And it's kind of weird. Lay up your own ark. When the deluge scene breaks, be sure you have a matched pair of each of Big Daddy's designs on board. That you'll be ready to refill the world when the dove blows the cool olive branch. The type is super tiny here, so. Yep, Randy's here with us. So what this is I said Big Daddy, but it's not the Big Daddy you're thinking of probably, since we were just talking about dragsters. Ed Big Daddy Roth. Yep, you can order your own Rat Think t-shirts, Rat Think decals, and it's super cool. Check this out. They had all these designs, this little quarter-page ad, and you could order your own Rat Think gear. So, if you wanted a Rat Think shirt of any of these designs, and most of these are the crazy monster designs that Roth did, Chevy 409, the Big Bad Chevy, the Ground Shaker, the Drag Lover. Some of the stuff is so small you can't read it. So, but that's what's cool about it. This was the old, the monster designs that he had, where you had the big monster with the shifter and sticking out of the top of the car. If you guys can see it, it's so tiny, it's tough to see. But you can order that all on a t-shirt. You can order your own decals. And t-shirts, $1.98. Small, medium, large. Sweatshirt, $3.98. Rat Think decals, 50 cents a piece. Catalogs, 50 cents a piece. Rat Think hats. And actually, he had like a pirate ship. I didn't even hardly notice that. Where he's got the guy out here on the ship with his like front end up in the air and a blown engine in the back of the boat. Little Daddy is keeping it all alive, so you can check that out too. Water, that's right, David. A lot of stuff was water transfer decals back in the day. So I thought that ad was super cool. Definitely worth checking out. This next one's really cool. U.S. Speed Sport, Santa Fe Springs, California. U.S. Speed Sport, manufacturers of the famous Instant Hot Rods, are now building bodies and chassis for dragsters. These good-looking, lightweight fiberglass bodies fit any chassis up to a 21-inch width. List price $300. Nose piece $100. Considerable discounts when purchased with the chassis. The chassis lists for $390 with torsion bar front end. Axles and radius rods $100 more. Wheelbase 120 to 145 inch, fits any engine. Buy one today, or better yet, buy two and race your friend. So the dragster chassis lists for $390. The body lists for $300, and the nose piece is $100, or a considerable discount if you bought both. So full retail price for a full chassis with torsion bar front end and body would have been $790 to get your own U.S. Speed dragster chassis and body. Mark said t-shirts are now $19.80, sweatshirts are $39.80. So yeah, that's right. Move the decimal point to the right. That's perfectly right. That's probably not too far off. And then, of course, the drag racing handbook right below that for 1964, or actually going into 65. Bill has every Big Daddy model kit they ever did. That'd be cool, because they did do a lot of cool model kits. That's right, Razor. You couldn't buy the tubing for that. That's right. You literally couldn't buy just the bare tubing for that today. Something else I thought was pretty interesting, an Offenhauser ad for a new intake. And I don't know that you would necessarily need this, but we've talked about this a little bit earlier in the magazine last week, the 273. We talked about the 273 Mopar, the little V8 that came out with the A-bodies. A pretty potent little engine for the time being, especially with a 4-speed, in a little Dart or Barracuda or Valiant. But Offenhauser, another first by Offenhauser, the Dart, Valiant, and Barracuda V8 273 intake manifolds. Dual quad, low profile, or the single quad. I don't necessarily know that you would need dual quads for a 273, but you could get a manifold for it. All right. Last week we had the question of subscriptions. And that's where we're at now. Be there with Pop Rod. They call it Pop Rod, Popular Hot Rodding. Be there with Pop Rod, the complete and exclusive magazine for hot rods. Subscribe today on our new Bill Me plan. Send no cash. 12 big issues for $4.89. So that answers the question to the subscription last week that we had. What does the subscription cost? $4.98. Oh, and a lot of them are actually autographed. That's cool, Bill. That was the economy intake. Yeah. 273 with dual 4-barrel EFI bolt-ons would be a green light nightmare. Yeah. Yeah, the 273 was a good little engine. I could definitely see running a 4-barrel on them, but dual quads on a 273 is a lot of fuel. Another cool little ad that we're going to check out. We got 3 or 4 more ads to catch before we wrap this deal up. But I thought this was so great. The Kellison Car Company, Lincoln, California, they actually made bodies. The first one, the all-new Panther Corvette. Now, 2-place Corvette replacement body. Absolutely no fiberglass work to be done by a builder. As complete as Corvette or Avanti body. Any stage of completion available. May be used on shortened American chassis. Send $3 for complete plans and photos. Full price, only $595. Let's see, what do we got here? Number one's getting ready to crank his fire back up the fresh load of wood. The other body they had advertised for the Kellison Car Company, T-bodies, 23 to 27 T-bodies available with doors that open or competition type without doors, T-grill, and many other hot rod items. Send $1 for complete catalog. Send $3 for plans and pictures of the J6 Panther. Sending $1 for a complete T catalog. Sending $1 for complete sports car catalog. Sending $5 for J6 Panther plans and complete catalogs to the Kellison Car Company. Yeah, that is cool, Bill. All the original Roth kits, original kits from the 60s, autographed. That's a pretty amazing collection, Bill. That's there's probably very few people in the world that can say they've got that collection. Another Sign of the Times ad. Dash of wood, $10, genuine walnut. Custom cut American walnut veneer, easy to apply. You could get it for a Corvair, 60 to 64, specify radio. You could get it for a Plymouth, 64, except Valiant Barracuda, specify heater. You could get it for a 64 Dodge, except 880 or Dart, specify heater and transmission. You could get it for a 63 or 64 Tempest, specify air conditioning. A 64 Chevelle, specify radio, or 64 GTO, specify air conditioning. Specify make, model, transmission, push-button radio, heater, and air conditioning where necessary. Send check, cash, or money order to Dash of Wood, Bloomfield, Michigan. I thought that was cool. That's something you wouldn't see in today's world. But genuine walnut Dash of Wood veneer. Aluminum slant 6. For some reason, I was thinking I've heard about something about an aluminum slant 6, but Randy's got a Kellison-based buggy, so that's right, Bill. They had wood veneer. And one more ad, 2 more ads on this page before we get to the back cover. Because this ad is so great, it has so much great stuff on it. Our friends at Almquist Engineering, we just looked at their catalog ad. Now they've actually got an ad where they have knockoff lakes, plugs, and 3-inch collectors for your lake pipes. The California Stick Shift, the world's lowest price quality floor shifter, only $7.50. Teardrop spotlights, $6.66 a piece. Exhaust cutout only $269. The electroscope engine analyzer for $3.95. Towards the bottom of this page, right above the Almquist Engineering ad, Halibrand, an iconic name in competition wheels. Front and rear dragster wheels, quick change rear ends, spot brakes, torsion bar, center steering unit, send for free literature, decals 3 for a quarter. Awesome logo for the Halibrand Engineering Company, Torrance, California, the original mag racing wheel. These are great ads, both of them. Even got JE pistons right up there at the top, tucked in above. The Halibrand wheel ad, the Almquist Engineering ad, great stuff. Definitely want to give you guys a second to check that one out. Now, let's go to the back cover, inside and outside, since they are full-page ads, and they are definitely worth checking out. Inside back cover, a name that is synonymous with performance back in the day and even today for Crower cams. I mean, who hasn't heard of Crower cams? The Crower Imperial fully rollerized cam. Pretty different. It actually has a roller bearing setup in it. David W. saw a set of Halibrand mags for the other day, $12,000 for the wheels. Yeah. For original stuff, that's probably right. I don't know if this is supposed to be your cam bearing or not, but it says Crower Imperial fully rollerized cam. That would be a pretty unique cam bearing if that's where they're going. But obviously they don't use that, so apparently if that's where they were going, it didn't work. So, but a great ad, even though it's black and white, a great full page ad for the iconic Crower Cam Company. And as we flip to the back cover, is your equipment ready for the Grant 6800 or plus RPM ring? It's dynamite. This new high-speed ring created by Grant. If you own serious equipment and you want to do big things in speed competition, the Grant 6800 plus RPM ring is for you. Grant Piston Rings, LA, California. Check that thing out. Yep, I'm not sure whether that roller cam bearing deal either, Mark, but that's what it looked like. Yeah, I would guess it would have been those would be magnesium Halibrands at 12 G's is what I'm guessing. Same NJCTD agrees with that. I think that's where they were probably going. Randy says magnesium, yeah. So there you have it. The back half of the October 1964 issue of Popular Hot Rodding out of the viewer box from quite a while back, because this is the last one. We had 4 of them to do. And I know a few of you guys, Mark said he's sending some in. A few guys said you were sending some more. I've got a couple that I picked up a couple weeks ago from a guy when I was buying some cans and toys from him. So we've got some definitely super cool magazines coming up, but we'll see what happens. I've still got plenty of them to choose from as well. But that wraps it up for the 1964 October Popular Hot Rodding with a lot of cool stuff in it. So those are some of the ads that Mark's dad did. Okay, I don't know if one of these specifically reminds you of something like that or not, but that would be cool if your dad did do one of these ads, Mark. Mark's dad did graphic design back in the 60s and actually did a lot of ads back in the day. So Mark needs a 5-spoke aluminum 15x6 wheel. But there again, that wraps it up for the magazine this week. We'll have a new one for next week. A lot of you guys are digging them. Throwing Sparks says 50,000 aluminum slant sixes are put in pasture. Okay. I knew I'd heard something about the aluminum slant six, but I couldn't remember. Throwing Sparks found it. They did use them in 61 and 62 in some cars. And I've never really had much of anything in the way of early 60s Mopars. 1, 2, or 3, I don't think I've ever owned one. I've had some 4s and 5 stuff and on up, but 1, 2, 3 Mopar, even 60, I don't think I've ever had a 60 Mopar either. So glad you guys liked it. Scott on Facebook liked it. A lot of you guys liked it. It was a good magazine. We've had a lot of fun with that. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Alex liking it. Lots of thumbs up. Appreciate it. Oh, Bill has a block for one. Okay. Trivia time. It's a little bit tricky this week, but we'll see if you get it. Throwing Sparks just says, all magazines rule. Well, it's a lot of fun. I'm glad we added that segment a while back, and then I'm even more glad that we decided to split them and take 2 weeks on one magazine because there's so much great stuff in those magazines. But trivia tonight, we're going to give away a Dodge badge tonight. This is, I don't know, 80s or 90s era Dodge. It is 5 inches long, basic Dodge script, stud mount. Pretty decent looking badge, even though it's not super, well, I say it's not super old. It's probably 30 years old now. But tonight's trivia question, as always, I will read the question, then I will hit the timer. We have 90 seconds, and hopefully it works. Number one, it actually had the answer, but we were like 4 segments down in the chat before it popped up last week. I don't know what it is. It's just a generic Dodge badge, so. Kenny says, yep, splitting is working. I'm really happy about it. I think we're getting a lot more out of the magazine by splitting it because I was skipping so much great stuff to try to get it, keep time managed, that we were missing a lot. So Ozark Fox's first car was a 61 Lancer with one. So, but as always, I will read the question. I will hit the timer. We'll have 90 seconds. On the video from Pioneer Village, the walk around on the renovations, what was the name of the stockade? This is a little bit tricky. We'll see if you guys get it. What was the name of the stockade in Pioneer Village that they moved in? Keep an eye on both formats because I know some of our Facebook viewers do watch some of the videos as well, so I'll keep an eye on both of them as we tick along on tonight's trivia question. Then we're going to get into the raffle. Let's see who is in the raffle for the sign and for the extra stuff next week. We'll give away some Christmas specials. This was a little tricky. What's the Jeopardy music? We're halfway through. Nope, still not the Notre Dame first year football coach. And it isn't Willis. But we got lots of people getting into the raffle this month, probably because we're going to give away some extra stuff. Scott got it. Scott Bowden. It was Elm Creek, the Elm Creek Indian Stockade. So I will need an address from you, Scott, to send that to you because I don't think I had you on anything else. So that one was a little bit tricky. And I made it that way intentionally, but it was a little bit tricky. All right, time for the raffle. Who is in the big Buick oil can? This week, as I explained to you guys in the past, I keep these sorted by weeks so that we can go through these and keep track of who is in and when they are in. So there's week number 1. There's week number 2. This is the 3rd week. We have 2 weeks left to go in this one. But even though we have 2 weeks left to go, we're going to draw some next week. So we'll give away a few bonus pieces next week for Christmas. Who is in this week? Tweedledee, Mark Falcon. Actually, Mark got in twice because I got a check at the beginning of the week and I got a check at the end of the week. So Mark is definitely in. Mark is actually in a lot. Mark is serious about this project. Zach Thompson, Jason Withrow, Brian Schultz, Bill Disk, Alec Blanchett, and Pete Winters. Those names are all added this week. So we'll put those in the stack, and we'll see who decides to get in this week. Like I said, we're going to be giving away some bonus stuff. We're going to give away the sign, we're going to give away a shirt, and then we're going to give away one of these miniature oil cans. These things are super cute from my good buddy Michael Jones at Gasoline Alley Classics in Sapulpa, Oklahoma. Those are our regular drawings. Uno, dos, tres. But we're going to give away a few extra things next week, so you want to be in for that as well. But everybody in these packets are now in here right now. I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to see some familiar names in there. That's because everybody that I just read off, plus a few more from earlier in the week, are all in there. Ready to go for the raffle. Next week will be bonuses. You can only win once, but you will go right back in for the following drawing. So if we give away 2 or 3 things next week, if I pull your name, you're out for next week, but you will be back in for the main drawing the following week. So I just want to keep it fair and let as many people win as we possibly can. Let's see. David W., put my extra on raffle, forgot to make a note. Okay, I assume that means you paid already, David. Let me put a note on here. David W. I assume you PayPal David W. I guess that's what you did. Let me put here extra for raffle. Okay, perfect. I noted that next to your name. So, and that's so important, guys. If you tell me it's the extras for raffle, I go through my auction lists and then I can tally up what you bought and then I know what to do with the rest. If you want a t-shirt, okay, perfect, David, great. You know, that way I know my auction list, I've got that to work with. So that's something. But if it's t-shirt, coasters, raffle chances, anything extra, I just need something so I know, because I get, as much stuff as I sell on here, plus eBay, plus others, just people that call on stuff. There's a lot to it. So anyway, that's who is in the Big Buick Oil Can. We'll give away a few extras next week. And like I said, we'll at least give away 1 gift box and maybe a couple of other things since it's Christmas and give out some extra stuff. So definitely be in the raffle by next week. We're going to give it away. We're going to do the drawing for the sign on the 1st. So you'll still have time to get in on the sign, but if you want to get on the extras, get in before next week. New inventory. All I got picked up this week was that big load of parts from my buddies. Plus bought some more stuff. What did I all get? 71 to 76 GM convertible top assembly, full-size GM. Buick Olds Cadillac convertible top assembly for 71 to 76. Oh, and Chevy and Pontiac. So I think they all use that same top assembly in the 70s. So that stuff, 46 to 48 Oldsmobile grill. It's got some cool stuff in there. So next week's videos, obviously I've still got a ton of stuff in the can. We've still got ACD stuff. We are getting closer on the big reveal on the car that they found, that ACD just found a few months ago. Hoping maybe by the first of the year, shortly after the first of the year, if not sooner, on the big reveal on the big car. And it is amazing. It is epic. I don't even know how to describe it. Amazing wasn't even the word for it. When you see the videos, you'll hear me use the word amazing and say, I don't even know if that's good enough for it. So that could be coming up. We've got a little bit more from ACD to feed anyway. We'll get that out. Got a little bit more from the Gasoline Alley Classics. Still got new inventory we haven't showed you. Still got a lot of stuff from Pioneer Village. Got some other junkyard videos that I've got shot from another place I stopped at. So a lot of stuff coming up video-wise. However, the big thing we need to talk about video-wise, everybody's talking about Christmas, and everybody's wishing each other Merry Christmas, which is so great because we have such an awesome group on here. But we have been talking about a live yard walk. And I told you, everybody, that a possibility might be Christmas afternoon. Is everybody still good with that? Is everybody going to be too busy? Does nobody want to go wander around the yard Christmas afternoon, or do we want to go wander around the yard Christmas afternoon? At this point, which means pretty much nothing because we're dealing with weatherman. At this point, they are showing mid-30s and sunny next Sunday afternoon. If that holds true, that would be perfect. Mid-30s, and if it's not windy, I can deal with mid-30s and sunny. I can wear my coat. The phone won't overheat on us like it does in the summer and crash. Mark says, sounds good. So that is still a possibility. If not, maybe we can do it on New Year's Day. But everybody said that Christmas afternoon are usually just sitting around looking for stuff to watch anyway. So we're getting some good comments as far as still doing that on Christmas Day. So please watch. If we do it, if it does work, it'll probably be say 2:00 in the afternoon roughly, because I want to make sure that the sun is like definitely overhead and putting a little bit of heat out. And so it'll be a mid-afternoon deal. If the wind stays down, if the sun comes out, if it does get in the mid-30s, if all these pieces fall together in December in Kansas, it'll work. So it looks like a lot of you guys are still on board with it. You might mention it to your friends. I will put a post up, an hour or two ahead of time before we pull the trigger on it. But that's right, it is a big if. But if everybody's good with that, we'll still tentatively shoot for that and see how things work. If not, we'll do it later. But there was a lot of yeses a few weeks ago when we brought it up, a lot of yeses tonight about doing it. So we will still tentatively shoot for the yard walk on Sunday afternoon, if all 42 pieces of that puzzle fall together. Anyway, that pretty much wraps it up. I appreciate everybody being here tonight. I appreciate spending what is your entire Sunday evening with me. Had a lot of Christmas wishes to everybody out there, and that's what's so great about this group is everybody's thinking about all of us, and we share this, and we share it all together. I hope everybody does have a great holiday. I know they can be hectic. I know that they can be miserable, but we all got to remember what the reason for the season is. And it's all about friends and family, and that's what we've all become on here. That's what we all do here, is we all are becoming friends and family, and that's an important part of it. And thinking about that stuff is what we want to try to remember as we go into the holidays. No matter how aggravating it gets, it's something that it's a good time to take a step back, reflect on the year, reflect on how things are going. And, we've all got a lot of good things going. And I know in today's world, things get hectic, but we've got to remember we've all got our friends and our family, and that's what's important. And that's what we really need to remember this time of the season, because it does get nuts. Just like the shopping things, you see how crazy that stuff gets, and people go bananas over stuff and get way too worked up over the holidays. So just remember your friends, your family, and something to definitely think about. Definitely think about those friends who may not have a lot of family. The holidays can be one of the most depressing times of the year for people who don't have close friends or close family, or don't have close family close by. There's a lot of people who don't have family that lives near them and they can't be with family. Let's always think about those friends especially, and let's always try to reach out to them. And I know everybody gets busy, but, sometimes a quick phone call or text to let that person know you're thinking about them, because they can't be near family. Sometimes that means a lot, because it can be pretty depressing for that person when they're stuck in that situation. So let's think about everybody. Let's think about all of our friends and all of our family, and think about who we need to reach out to, and try to help everybody have a great holiday season, because it can get pretty frustrating and it can get pretty annoying. So let's keep our heads up. Let's all of us keep a positive attitude for all of our friends and family, and have a great holiday. So let's see. We got lots of that popping up, both places, Facebook and YouTube. I can't catch all of them. We've had a pretty steady stream of them. So I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate you spending your whole Sunday night with me. And we'll be on Tuesday night. We'll do some Toy Tuesday for sure coming up Tuesday night. We've got more cool stuff to check out. I've had actually several of you telling me that I've got viewer boxes coming. We may have a viewer box. We may have more toys that I got from my buddy a couple weeks ago. We may have a combination of all of it. Who knows? We'll see how things happen. But anyway, as always, be safe this week. I hope everybody has a great Christmas. And like I said, just keep your heads up, and let's keep a positive attitude through the holidays, because it can get pretty frustrating at times. Santa Chad. I don't think I'm Santa Chad, but that's it's an important. I just feel that it is so important to keep that in mind throughout this season. It can be one of the greatest times of the year. It can be one of the worst times of the year. So stay positive, keep your heads up, keep moving forward, and everybody have a great holiday season. And hope everybody has a great Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. We'll see you Tuesday. We'll see if we can get the yard walk squeezed in Sunday afternoon. Never want to be looking for that Corvair under his tree. Nobody's Christmas special starring Johnny Carson. I still don't think we're quite to that level, but we'll see. But like I said, Gary and Scott on Facebook telling everybody Merry Christmas, a whole row of Merry Christmases on YouTube. And that's what's so great. We've got an amazing group on here. We have a ton of fun. We had a blast tonight. And, it made up for last week being so sucky. But at least we all came back and we all had fun. With that, it's time to wrap it up. Tuesday night, we'll do Toy Tuesday Live. Tons of cool content. Charo was always on the Christmas special. I remember Charo very, very, very vaguely. Very vaguely. But I do remember that. But I don't remember being on the Christmas special specifically. But must have been. So Big Job remembers it. So anyway, with that, we're going to have a great week. I'll put some more cool content out. We'll do Toy Tuesday Live. We'll see if the weather cooperates to do that yard walk. You guys all have a great holiday, and we will see you hopefully Sunday afternoon. If not, we'll see you right back here, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, Sunday night live chat, the Christmas special next Sunday night. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you Tuesday night, and definitely hope to see you back Sunday night for the next edition of Sunday Night Live Chat, episode 144. Thanks for watching, everybody.